guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Miami Sports Music Podcast Network's #1 Miami fan morning show. This is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live on Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. I am your host, Stephen D. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. You can follow me on social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms at Miami Sports Music and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. If you are watching right now, hit that like button, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are doing that. That's very important. We can't grow without your help. And you can do it by just sharing the link and letting people know, hey, there's this morning show. It's pretty awesome. It's got this pretty cool guy, Steven, up there. Maybe you've heard of it, Clock Blockers. Just share it with your friends. Share it with your mama, your dad, your brother, your sister, your granddaddy, your grandmama. Come on now. Share it with everybody that you know. Your Finlaws. That's right. Share it with your Finlaws. Hey, look, if you want to sign up to become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you in the description below, as well as in the live chat right now. You will see a link to sign up to become a member of the family. Would love for you to sign up and become a member of the family. There's beautiful, wonderful people here and would love to see you. That's right. I'm talking to you. You right now. The one that's on your phone watching me. Sign up, become a member today. Come on now. I'm not playing with you all right? Also, hey, look, if you also want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, there's 4 different ways you can do that. If you're watching us live, you can hit that like button as well. I already told you to hit the like button. It's the YouTube Live Super Chat Super Sticker. It's the $ down at the bottom of the chat. You guys can do that. You guys can also use Cash App. We accept Cash App, $MSM Podcast Network. You can use the QR code below right here on the screen. And also PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. Again, use the QR code that you see on the screen. You guys can do that right there. There is a fourth way. If you're watching us in a replay mode and not live, there's a new thing on YouTube called YouTube Super Thanks. So down where you see the share link and the like button, there'll be a heart with a $ in it. Click that. That is the super thanks button that's in replay mode when you're not watching something live anymore, that it's not live. Feel free to donate on there too. We would love, we would definitely welcome any donations that are done through the super thanks button. We haven't had any yet on that platform yet. It's brand new to our channel, but all donations are greatly appreciated and welcome. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of the show, Tail Greeter. They're absolutely amazing. The tailgate, football season might be over, but the tailgate never stops. Make sure you download the app today on your current Apple or Android device. You can follow Tail Greeter on social media at TAILGREETER. Also, want to give a big shout out to our other sponsor of the show, ZSM Sports. For all your best sports memorabilia needs, make sure you go check out Zach over at ZSM Sports. We do a giveaway each and every week. And this week, we are giving away an autographed mini helmet. I'm not sure what player it's going to be yet. I should find out hopefully during the show. And if not, I'll have that. But it'll be an autographed mini helmet. If you donate in increments of $5, you will be entered to win on our Friday weekly giveaway that we do each and every Friday here on the channel. It's a beautiful thing. So donate in increments of 5. If you get 10, that's two entries. You donate 15, that's 3 entries. You donate 20, that's 4 entries. If you donate on Cash App or PayPal, we double your entries. And if you ever donate $50 to the channel, we always triple your entries. All right. Donations help the channel grow, and so they're greatly appreciated. And we like to give back to the people that donate monetarily. So thank you very much to the people who do that. All right, without further ado, we got a big show lined up for you today. A lot of stuff has happened. I want to get into a lot of stuff when it comes to, the Florida Panthers having a big win last night, the Miami Heat playing a big Game 5 tonight. There were a lot of good games in the NBA last night as well. Just a lot of good stuff. Marlins lost another one run game. Say that 5 times fast. I think out of their last 8 losses, 6 of them or 7 of them have been by 1 run or less. Just heartbreaking. So we want to get into all that. But it's Tuesday. It's Miami Herald Tuesday. And you know what that means? That means we're going to bring on our good friend to the channel, Daniel Oyefusi of the Miami Herald. What's going on, Daniel? How are you?
I'm doing well. I got to start real quick. Want to hear a crazy story? Before I came on here, I had a D Wade Heat jersey on.
Did you really?
I swear, and it had on my muscles and everything. And I was like, nah, let me put on a standard.
No, man. You know what? We should pause the show for 2 minutes. Go put that shirt back on. And we could do the Heat together, man. We could talk Heat this morning. We don't got to talk Dolphins.
Let me get it real quick. I'll be back.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at Daniel. Daniel doing it for the team. The Heat are going to win tonight because we are going to do our weekly segment in Heat gear. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. We're going to win tonight. Let's go Heat.
I swear, bro. I had it.
My man. And you know what? I'm rocking LeBron. We're going back to the championship days right here. Let's go, baby.
I had to show some love to the Heat.
Everyone's
like, you gotta root for the Heat. Everyone on Twitter's like, you gotta root for the Heat. I'm like, bro, I'm a D Wade. D Wade's my favorite player ever. Like,
of all time.
Of all time. I know I be standing LeBron on Twitter, but like D Wade was like the first player, 06 NBA.
LeBron's my guy. But I love the Heat. Alonzo Mourning was the guy. Enjoyed watching Alonzo Mourning back in the day. Real quick, let's talk a little bit of basketball. Did you watch any hoops last night?
Yeah.
Did you watch that Boston game?
I did. Did
you see Al Horford drop 40 points?
He went back into the time machine, into the Atlanta days.
I was like, so my wife and I are watching the game last night, and I'm like, there's no way nobody's stopping Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, the guy's a freak. He is a freak. And he made that dunk, got the tech, was all up in Al Horford's face, and you saw Al Horford go.
He was like, man, okay. All right.
All right. I see how it is. This is what we're going to have to do tonight. And it was funny because I'm watching the hockey game for the most part.
Uh-huh.
And I'm flipping back and forth between the two. And the hockey game was crazy because it seemed like that there was a million power plays for the Florida Panthers. They couldn't seem to convert. They get to the last 3 minutes of the game. They pull the goalie. They tie the game up. And I'm like, oh, my God. And my wife's like, turn it back to the basketball game. Turn it back to the nobody cares about this hockey mess. Turn it back to the basketball game. And I'm like, no. Now, what was great is the Heat or the Panthers won in overtime, which was crazy to get the series tied back at 2 apiece, and they get the home court or home ice advantage back. And then as far as basketball is concerned, she's a big Boston fan. I don't know what I did to deserve that. But either way, she loves seeing Harford. She's like, oh my God, this is crazy. He looks so good. I'm like, I don't know where that came from because he's an old man. Old man. And nobody else was playing that great on Boston last night.
Yeah. I thought Milwaukee was for sure gonna they looked like they were in control of that game up until like the midpoint of the fourth quarter, and then Horford just took it over. So that's a great series right there.
You know, and then real quick, that Grizzlies Golden State series, man. I thought it was going to be a blowout last night. I'm like, there's no way Memphis makes this a game. They got Ja Morant out with a knee injury. They only lost by 2. Now a loss is a loss. Let's call it what it is. But they played good last night.
I mean, yeah, that was like the whole like knock against Ja during the season that they were so good. I mean, they were 20-5 in the regular season without him. So that was like the knock on him that like, oh, the team doesn't really need him. But you saw late in that game, like you kind of saw where they were missing him. But that was an ugly game to be honest. But it was definitely a strong effort by
and real quick, just a game 5, little quick game 5. We're going to talk Dolphins here, y'all. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into the Dolphins talk. Game 5 preview tonight. Can we not take any threes tonight? Can we not do that? Because
that's what they do.
No, that's not what they do. They were 30. They were 7 for 35 from the 3-point. That's why we lost.
Game 4. But they're usually a very good 3-point shooting team.
So I'll give you a prime example. At the end of game 4, we were making a comeback. and I think the point spread at that point was like 5, maybe, or it was 6. It was 6. Jimmy Butler comes down after a miss on the other side, and has 4 people in the paint right looking for a rebound. If he just steps up, takes 2 steps forward instead of shooting the 3, it was a 5-point. It becomes a 3-point game, and it's a totally different way at the end of the game.
You got to take smart. I mean, it's not only about taking the shots, but you got to take the smart shots. I mean, there's a lot of shots that they're just missing. Like, I think, and that happens. Like, the role players don't shoot as well. I mean, we all talk about Hero and all these players, but I mean, for the most part, these guys they're good role players, and role players don't usually play as well on the road. So they'll go back to Miami. They'll make the shots. As much as we want to talk about Harden, like kind of turning back the clock, and he had a really, really strong.
He did. He had a great game.
Yeah, he had a great fourth quarter. Just the history of the past year or several months tells you he's probably not going to have that type of impact in the fourth quarter again. So I think it's still the Heat series to lose. I mean, they still got, the home court advantage. They do. Got to take care of business.
And when you're the home team, you just have to win at home. Exactly. That's all you have to do. And a series like this could be that big.
They've done that so far. But I don't know. Embiid kind of changes things up, But, if they make some shots, they're still in both of those games.
If you go back and look, what I want you to do after our interview's over, go back and look at the stat chart, okay, for Game 4. The only place that we really lost that night, we didn't lose at the free throw line. We didn't lose. We were ridiculous inside the paint. They were less than us by like 20% from inside the paint. We just lost the 3-point battle. That's it. That's the only thing we lost on that Game 4.
Yeah, playoffs. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. I mean, you just got to make a couple more shots. So I think they'll be fine.
Look, go Heat, right? Go Heat. That's all I know. Game 5, baby. Game 5. Let's go. Okay. All right. Enough about that. The Miami Dolphins is why you're here. Miami Herald. First of all, congratulations to the Miami Herald. They got a big award yesterday. Unfortunately, it was for a horrible tragedy over at Surfside, which we helped raise money for over here when that happened. And but they won a Pulitzer Prize last night, the Miami Herald. So congratulations to your entire team over at the Miami Herald. That's a beautiful thing. I'm sure you all were talking about that, in chat rooms or behind closed doors last night.
Yeah. There was a little virtual watch party for that, and we had a celebration as well. So it was really cool. Obviously, I didn't have a hand in that and whatnot, but I remember, around that time where the tragedy happened, I was reading a lot of the coverage, and they did a really great job. So it was definitely well deserved.
Yeah, man. Look, shout out to the Miami Herald, and congratulations on winning your Pulitzer Prize of, what was it, breaking news coverage, I think is what it was for, which is awesome, man. Anytime you win a Pulitzer Prize, that's a big deal. And so shout out to the Miami Herald. We're happy to have you here each and every Tuesday, Miami Herald. All right, now to you, Daniel.
Yeah.
We make a big splash last night in free agency, okay? The Miami Dolphins go out and sign on a 1-year deal, free agent Sony Michel of the Super Bowl winning Rams from the backfield. I think he had 845 yards last year. But just what do you think about Sony signing with the Dolphins last night?
It was an interesting signing because we know that it was reported he had a visit with the Dolphins last week. And it seemed like on first thought, it kind of seemed like one of those kind of like post-draft visits where you kind of just check out the guy to see how he's doing. Maybe it's one of those signings or those calls that you make like, a couple of weeks, months down the road, maybe during the season if you need the depth. But for them to sign him right now, that to me, that kind of says a lot about, their plans for him this upcoming season. He reportedly got $2.1 million, which isn't like, breaking the bank money in terms of
not at all
we're running back, but still that's a pretty solid contract for a veteran. And you just kind of follow the money when with their signings. They're gonna have Edmonds. They signed him to a 2-year deal. They signed Mostert to a 1-year deal, but he has that familiarity with the scheme and being with McDaniel in San Francisco. So you expect him to make this team and have a pretty significant role. But he has a pretty lengthy injury history. So you get a guy like Sony Michel, who's a proven back. He's still fairly young, for a running back. He's 27 years old, 4 years in the league. And he's a veteran. He has familiarity with the scheme because he was with Los Angeles, and, they do a lot of wide zone. They haven't done as much, in recent years, but they still do a lot of zone. So there's familiarity there. And Again, I think that I put it out there. I think that you kind of right now you kind of have the running back room set to me.
Oh yeah.
It's a
It's a
given.
little overcrowded.
Yeah, it's a given they're going to take 3 running backs into the opening 53-man roster. They could potentially keep a 4th running back, but you also have to keep in mind that they're going to keep a fullback on the roster with Alec Ingold. So right there, that's 4 guys right there. You have 4 tight ends. It looks like Myles Gaskin and Savon Ahmed are going to be kind of competing for those final spots. And again, there's no guaranteed money on their contracts, so we can kind of connect the dots and see how it's going to go in training camp.
All right, let me go back to Sony for a second. Sony met with the Miami Dolphins a couple days ago, met with the New Orleans Saints. All right. Now, from what I am hearing through back channels, the Saints had a bigger deal on the table for Sony. But if you read a tweet earlier this morning from Nick Hicks, Tua's trainer, he said that in the tweet that him and Sony worked out together last year at a couple of camp like player camps that they do together, player meetups, and that they hit it right off the bat, and that they've been wanting to play with each other. So with that being said, there's been a big there's been a big notion within the fan base of who wants to come play with Tua. Sony Michel wants to come play with Tua. So I think that we need to look at that and say that's a big deal. And let's call Sony what he is. He's not a pushover free agent. Like, he's a veteran free agent who's got a Super Bowl ring and understands how to play the game. He had 845 yards last year on a team that went and won the Super Bowl. Like, that's nothing to push over. So he chose to come play with Tua and the Dolphins. I think that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, I think that a lot of factors go into it. I didn't know the specifics of the visit with the Saints, but a lot goes into it. I'm sure that being a local guy helped. He went to school down in South Florida. Just Miami in itself, it helps a lot. And I think that there is when you talk to a lot of free agent offensive players that have come to Miami, there's a lot of comfort and there's a lot of trust and a lot of belief in what they're building, especially with Mike McDaniel on the offensive side of the ball. So I think all of that plays a factor. It's definitely something to note.
Yeah, 100%. And I just wanted that narrative to get out there that a free agent chose to come play with us, and he was offered more money elsewhere, and the balance factor was Tua. So I want people to know people will come here to play with Tua. I don't want that to get, lost in translation. The other thing that I think is very interesting is the running back room that we alluded to, right? Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert signed in the offseason along with Alec Ingold. You have Myles Gaskin and Ahmed that's also in the back room from the previous years. Who likely is the odd man out there, Daniel? And I know I'm asking you your opinion on who you think is the odd man out there.
It's tough. The thing is, like, neither of those guys have shown they haven't played like a ton of special teams in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
They both have similar skill sets. I think Gaskin's probably, Ahmed's probably a little shiftier, maybe a little more explosive dynamic as a pass catcher. And he also has the familiarity with McDaniel. Gaskin was a one-time San Francisco 49er with McDaniel before they released him, and he kind of caught on with the Dolphins. So I guess maybe if I had to guess who maybe that 4th spot would go to, I guess maybe Ahmed. But then again, when you get to those final roster spots, you want somebody that can play special teams, that can contribute there. And it's like if neither of those guys are going to do that, maybe you're better off just keeping 3 running backs and just having a couple guys on the practice squad who you can elevate if need be on game day.
I thought it was very interesting with the Sony Michel signing last night because I went back and I started going through and I was like, you know what? Here's the thing. We're talking about a running back for the last 2 years that's been number 1, number 2 on the depth chart. And all of a sudden they revamped the entire backfield this year and he probably doesn't even have a home year. He's not even – and that to me is the definition of adding depth to a position and building up a roster, right? And so to have a guy who's been – 1 or 2 on the depth chart and now might not even have a slot, that says a lot to me, that's a big deal. And I think that says a lot about McDaniel and what he's choosing to do within that backfield. And it's built on speed. And here's the other thing we're not taking into account either, right? we're not taking into account these wide receivers that have special plays that come out of the backfield for them either, that are currently on our roster. Tyreek Hill has had a lot of plays in Kansas City where he started out in the backfield, right? So, I have to think that you're probably right that there's going to be 3 running backs with a fullback. So it'll be 4, but it includes Ingold. And I got to think that Ahmed and Gaskins are going to be the odd man out here. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, again, if I think the timing of the signing says a lot. If this was something where they signed him, a couple of weeks into training camp, if they had waited, if they had gone, just the fact, like I don't know if this is a sign they needed to make right now. Obviously, he had the visit with the Saints and whatnot, but for them to sign him right now, and the money that's reportedly
they wanted him, and that's a big deal too, right? It wasn't the last minute. Hey, this is right after the draft, and now we're going to go out and get somebody that we want. And I think that's big. Now let's talk about other possible free agents, because there's still a lot of them out there. And the big name that keeps on circulating within the fan base, and probably will until he gets signed, is center, former Cleveland Brown, J.C. Tretter. Have you heard anything about J.C. Tretter? Is there any news on him?
No, it's been pretty quiet.
I know it has been.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping you would say, "Yeah, I have." He's in Miami now.
And truthfully, I don't think that from the timing of Tretter's release from the Browns, I'm not sure if there was any legitimate reports even linking him to the Dolphins. I'm sure that maybe they made some calls and whatnot, but there was no tangible reporting or anything like that really linking him. I think that it's funny because last week I wrote kind of the winners and losers of the NFL draft, and as winners I put Gaskin and Ahmed because they didn't draft the running back, and then of course they signed.
They go out and get Sony Michel.
So it's things can change. Things can change. I'm sure that wherever I'm sure that J.C. Tretter is in shape and preparing to play for some team right now. So I'm not worried if it could be one of those things where maybe they sign him a week before the training camp starts. You just don't know. But it's been pretty quiet there. But we do know that Barry Jackson reported that they were trying out Connor Williams at center, and they're kind of doing some things along the offensive line. So they have plans for center right now. I mean, I don't think that Michael Dieter is going to be handed the starting role by any means. In training camp, he's definitely going to have to earn it, and that kind of, I guess you could say he has the job right now, but he's going to have to keep it with his play in training camp.
Do you think there's any other free agents that get signed here to the Dolphins? They still have, I mean, if you take away the $2.1 million against the cap, which I think we had after the draft, I think we had $20 million. That puts us at 17.5 or 17.8, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We still have plenty of moves to make and plenty of capital to do it with. I mean, do you think the Dolphins are done?
I mean, hey, it seems like they made a move every single week, so you can't really. I mean, again, we talked about it last week. They brought in Melvin Ingram for a visit before the draft. There were reports that they were looking into Akeem Hicks and Carlos Dunlap. So it seems like they are kind of sniffing around for a pass rusher. Again, we talked about kind of the unique unrestricted free agent tender that the Chiefs put on Melvin Ingram. So if they are going to bring in Ingram, it's definitely going to be before training camp. That's the kind of the benchmark or the time that we're looking at. Because after that, after the start of training camp, the Chiefs have exclusive negotiating rights with Ingram. So if they're going to make a move on Ingram, it's going to come before training camp. So definitely looks like they might add another pass rusher just based off the moves and the reports that we've seen.
Do you think there's a big need for another pass rusher on this team? You go out and sign Emmanuel Ogbah. I mean, look, he played with us last year, but he was a top 10 free agent in the NFL this offseason. Everybody wanted him. Now we know that he wanted to stay here, hindsight being 2020, and he wanted to be a Miami Dolphin, and we signed him to a very lucrative deal and one that I think he earned nonetheless. But I feel like Jalen Phillips, him, a lot of these other guys we have at linebacker, we have a lot of pass rush. Why do we need to go out and get one more pass rusher?
Well, you can never have too many pass rushers. I mean, if you look at the Rams from this past Super Bowl, even the Bucs from the one before that, I mean, they had like a platoon. I mean, they had guys that they could just rotate in and out. I think that really especially with the reports that we've seen, they're looking for somebody to get the passer on the interior. You know, Agba can move inside a little bit, but he works out a lot. Jalen Phillips is really an outside guy. Andrew Van Ginkel is really an outside guy. I think Zach Sealer is probably their best interior pass rusher along with Christian Wilkins. But it never hurts to have somebody that, you know, you can throw in there, especially if he's cool with just being like a third down only. I mean, we know that they have all those unique blitz packages and whatnot. So I think that it'd definitely be a good signing. And we know, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they had trouble rushing the passer in the first half of the season. We still don't know exactly what this defense is going to look like, how it's going to play under Josh Boyer kind of taking the reins completely. So to have as many, you know, productive players as you can, I mean, I don't think anybody should dismiss that.
All right. Two other things that I want to kind of get into. One, we kind of talked about during, you know, back channels about the schedule, and we'll get into that in a second. Mm-hmm. But some breaking news just kind of hit in the last 10 or 15 minutes since we've been on the air. And I think
I had Barry blowing up my phone.
I think it's worth noting and talking about. Because there's been a lot of rumors about this man to the Miami Dolphins in some way, shape, or form over the last couple of years, let alone this particular offseason. Tom Brady, it was released in the last 10 or 15 minutes that when he is done playing, that Fox and Fox Sports Network have agreed to him becoming the main color analyst at Fox. And I think that's big because there have been a lot of rumors. I think it's worth talking about that he's going to join ownership for the Dolphins, or he's going to be in the front office for the Dolphins.
Yes.
After he stops playing, that kind of goes out the window now since Brady signs this huge deal with Fox, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at what Barry has reported on this because he's knowledgeable about the media ins and outs and whatnot. And he made a good point. I guess here I'm reading it for the first time. He says the NBA and its networks have permitted broadcasters such as Grant Hill, Dwayne Wade, Magic Johnson to have ownership stakes in teams, less so with the NFL. Even if Brady were permitted to join Finn's ownership, a big if, he couldn't be heavily involved in personnel or anything meaningful. So that is kind of notable. I mean, because, you know, I had reported that there were discussions about bringing him in a front office role. You know, that seemed like by all other reports that was like a minority ownership stake or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if he's agreeing to be the lead,
Fox
analyst for Fox,
mm-hmm.
I don't see how he could have a significant role in the Dolphins' ownership.
And just so y'all know, there's been a lot of craziness this offseason when it comes to play-by-play and color analysts on the major networks. If you want a kind of an outlook of what it looks like heading into the future, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo obviously staying at CBS. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman left Fox this offseason. They are now at Monday. They're now on Monday nights at ESPN. So Monday Night Football will now be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, which I have to admit has probably been the best it's been in probably the last 10 years. So I'm excited for that personally. NBC now, because Al Michaels left, Al Michaels is being replaced with Mike Tirico. So Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth are on Sunday Night Football at NBC. And Fox losing Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, they had Kevin Burkhardt, who I enjoy, but I don't know if he's the first person that would come to my mind to replace Joe Buck. But he's good nonetheless. And in the future, it'll be Tom Brady along with Burkhardt. This year, I think they have a couple of fill-ins to go with them. And then Amazon even has their own package on Thursday night with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. That's a crazy package, too.
There were some reports that yesterday that Richard Sherman was in talks with Amazon to join that.
To be the third person in the booth with them?
Yeah, I gotta. It was an athletic story on it. Yeah, to essentially, do analysis as well. So,
I actually think Amazon's going to have something like NFL or ESPN has, like they have the Manning cast. I think Amazon's going to have 2 or 3 different ways to watch the game. Michaels and Herbstreit being one of them, because I've also heard a rumor, and this is a rumor, that Pat McAfee could have his own Thursday night coverage.
Oh wow!
Which would be huge. I would love every second of that. I'd be there for it. But I found it interesting to cover nonetheless because there's been a lot of talks about Brady coming here to Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's worth noting. He signs a big deal. And by the way, this is something that's been done before. Drew Brees did it with CBS before he stopped playing.
But obviously there was no there wasn't a lot of speculation about him joining another team or joining the team's ownership stake. It was kind of clear, like, all right, Drew Brees is going to finish playing football and he's going to come over here,
100%. All right. Let's get into the schedule release. Thursday night, 8 p.m. the schedule drops, but there's already been schedule release. This morning, it was released by the NFL that Christmas Day, the 4:30 game on that day, which is a Sunday this year, which, by the way, they also said in this announcement that, hey, a lot of the Sunday games will be moved to Saturday for Christmas Eve, but there will be a small
I think it's going to be like a triple.
Games.
We're going to have a triple header for Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, so there'll be a 1 o'clock, 4:30, which the 4:30 we found out today is the Denver Broncos at the LA Rams. That'll be a good matchup on Christmas Day, right?
For sure.
And then we don't know what the other ones are going to be. And so I find it interesting because the way I took it last week was the schedule release is that every day they would be coming out with, like, ESPN was supposed to come out with their full slate of Monday night games last night. Well, they only released one.
I think it was just one. From my understanding, it was just like releasing one. So they on Good Morning America, they announced the doubleheader. It's unique. It's weird. There's a lot of because they just had to sign a new broadcast deal, so a couple of things are changing. So we're used to the week 1 doubleheader. So I guess that's no longer the case. They made it so there's 3 weeks during the season, they have a doubleheader. So this first doubleheader is going to be week 2. So I was a little confused by that. So it was kind of like just them announcing.
They usually have that week 1.
Yeah, but that's not going to be the case this.
You know what I think it is? I think they're not doing it week 1 because of Aikman and Joe Buck, and they want them to be the focus of the first Monday Night Football.
I could see that as well. But I know for sure. With this new broadcasting deal, it was like, all right, ESPN and ABC, you get 3 kind of double headers. So yeah.
Here's the other thing that I find interesting too. There's supposed to be a game on Black Friday now too with the Amazon package.
Yeah, I heard there was a report from Peter King that they're not going to do that until 2023 at the earliest.
I was hoping we would get that this year with the Amazon deal.
Yeah, I think that it was a little tough because they have the USA, it's the World Cup game. That's either on Black Friday or it's like right around that period anyway. Right around that period. So I think it would have been a lot for them to kind of fit in there. And they wanted the NFL to really be like those standalone only game that people have their eyes on.
That Christmas Day game that was announced earlier this morning is going to be on CBS, but it's also going to be on Nickelodeon. And for those of you with kids, I have kids. Y'all have met my kids on plenty of occasions, those who watch the show on a regular basis. I have a 16-year-old. They love the Nickelodeon games. That's been a really great thing over the last 2 years. What do you think about that Nickelodeon deal?
Yeah, I've seen. I know that a couple of years back they had playoff game there. They had
Ian Eagle's son,
and
Nate Burleson, and they usually have one of the kids from Nickelodeon do the game with them.
No, I like it.
I like great. It. But they have like the slime and on the field during. My kids loved it. They stayed into like the Cowboys 49ers playoff games. They did it for this year. Yeah. My kids watched it. They watched the whole thing because of it. So I love those Nickelodeon games.
Way to kind of like usher in the next generation of football fans because a lot of talk about how like these newer and younger fans aren't really watching like entire games but highlights. So it's an interesting way to kind of like try to get them when they're impressionable.
One other thing, what have you heard? 2 other things, actually. I've also heard a rumor that Thanksgiving night or Thanksgiving afternoon, Dolphins could be playing against Detroit. Have you heard anything about that? Detroit, Miami, Thanksgiving?
Well, there's only 2 choices. I'll say that. It's the Broncos and the Dolphins. I put it out there yesterday. There was a really interesting LA Times story about how they put together the schedule. And I read the story and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I went back and there was a video and I watched the video. And one of the people who puts together the schedule, he said Like it was a really cool breakdown. I don't know.
I have it up here. I can play it. I can play it real quick.
Yeah, we can play it. It's really interesting. The first part of it was really interesting.
Where is it at? I gotta find it. Give me 1 sec. Keep on going.
But essentially, he broke down how that they build the schedule and they have so many constraints. So there's sometimes venues are taken up because of concerts and whatnot. So they work in from the game of the week with the biggest constraints and they build out. So his example was Thanksgiving, and he says Detroit hosts Thanksgiving on CBS this year, and so the broadcast rules say that has to be an AFC team that plays Detroit. So the only two AFC teams that Detroit hosts this year are Buffalo and Miami. So he was like, it has to be Buffalo or it has to be Miami, and then we go from there. If you kind of connect the dots,
you could see what's going on here. You could definitely see what's going on there.
The Bills have played on Thanksgiving 2 of the last 3 or 4 years. So, I mean, of course they could put the Bills there again, but I think for fairness, I think they might give them a year off. So as it stands, I'm currently planning to be in Thanksgiving for Detroit. We'll see what happens when they officially announce it.
So this is the video that you just alluded to from the LA Times. And this is somebody who used to work in the office of the NFL and help creating the schedule. This video is about 3 minutes long. I think it's really, really good. We'll go ahead and play it real quick.
So Val would sit at this board and all these tags would be hanging down here at the bottom. These are home games. This is New Orleans at the Los Angeles Rams, Houston at the Rams. All these tags would be hanging down here at the bottom, and we would start hanging them up literally one at a time. We would start with the games that had the most constraints on them, whether it was Thanksgiving in Dallas or in Detroit. For instance, this year in Detroit, we know they're hosting Miami and Buffalo for the AFC games, and Detroit is going to be on CBS this year. So right now, your choices for Thanksgiving in Detroit are Miami or Buffalo. Whichever one of those you choose is going to take you down a path of the search tree that is going to be very, very different. And then your next choice is going to be what's kickoff in LA. It could be Denver, it could be Buffalo, it could be Dallas, it could be San Francisco. Any one of those 4 is going to take you down a very different path. And that's 4 branches off the Miami-Detroit Thanksgiving path, and that's 4 branches off the Buffalo-Detroit Thanksgiving path. What's next? The opening Sunday night. Who's going to play on Christmas? What's the other Thanksgiving game? Who's going to London? What are we going to do for Saturday night on the NFL Network on Christmas Eve? And each of those branches, each of those paths is going to be off of a previous path. And you can see how quickly the number of possible breaks, the number of possible nodes in your search tree gets very large very quickly.
What's the legend for the different colors of the push pins?
When we were building the schedule by hand, the red is for the AFC teams and the blue is for the NFC teams. By default, red goes to CBS. When an AFC team is on the road, red goes to CBS. When a blue team is on the road, NFC team is on the road, that game goes to Fox. So in the old days, these games all belonged to CBS and Fox. If you want to take them and put them on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, you use a colored pin. Green pin for Sunday Night Football, yellow pin for ESPN. And the theory there was you start hanging these tags up one at a time, you stick a green pin in it. Now it's not a blue game for Fox, it's a green game for NBC, and there's going to be a green game every week and a yellow game every week. If we had to, someday when we walk by this board, if we gave it a whack, all of them could fall off except for the ones with the pins in them. Those are the national television games. Those are the ones that are set in stone. We're going to build this schedule around those games. So you stick a pin in it, that game becomes locked in now, and the colored pin represents the network. What we have done as we have built a piece of software to mirror this process, if you see right behind you, there's a schedule from last year. That's last year's final schedule, 2021. The colors mirror the colors that are on this board. Blue and red for CBS and Fox. You stick a green pin in it for Sunday night. You stick a yellow pin in it for ESPN.
Now, I found that to be very, very interesting and really, really cool because a lot of that they don't do that way anymore. But the concept of it, they still do.
Computers now where they kind of run the algorithms and let it spit out and look at it afterward.
Was there anything there that you took away from that you found very interesting?
There's a good chance the Dolphins are playing on Thanksgiving because it didn't even cross my mind. I knew that they they're playing the NFC North this year. But I forgot. I didn't realize that it was on CBS, and I forgot about that rule, which is interesting. Another in the story they mentioned that that rule about road team has to go on CBS. AFC team, road team has to go on CBS. NFC team has to go on Fox. Like that changes after next year, which is going to make it even more. It's going to be like a free for all. So you're going to be seeing like NFC teams on CBS.
We started to see that last year, I thought.
They started to kind of pull back the restrictions, but it's going to be a free for all. I mean, they're going to have to meet like certain quotas in terms of how many AFC teams get on CBS, but for the most part, it's going to be kind of a free for all. So it's going to be interesting to see because I'm used to watching the Steelers and the Ravens and the Texans on.
There are rumors that I have heard, and I really think that's why they got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, that ABC is going to get Sunday afternoon games after 2024.
Oh, in terms of like the 4 or 15
Yep.
slots more often.
Yep. And it doesn't, and it makes sense to me that'll happen. And here's why. And this is just us talking right now. I don't know. DirecTV is going to lose Sunday Ticket. I'm calling it now. And by the way, that's not a hot take. If you don't realize that's what's going to happen, you don't watch football. Okay. DirecTV is going to lose Sunday Ticket. And DirecTV, by the way, then will go into bankruptcy within the next 3 years after that. So do not buy stock into DirecTV because it's not looking good for them. They're going to lose the package. Who's going to gain it? My guess is one of three people: YouTube, Amazon, or Apple TV. One of those three will gain the DirecTV package. And they're going to revamp it and make it 10 times better than what DirecTV ever could. Now, when that happens, I think it's going to take the entire landscape of how we consume football on Sundays totally different. Let me tell you why. If you're correct, the current collective bargaining agreement or the collective whatever it's called, the TV deal that's in place ends in 2024, right?
Oh no, they just re-upped it. It's like a new 10-year.
It's another 10 years, but there's a lot of, hey, we're adding certain platforms to it. There's a lot of things to it.
2024, that's when they start to like kind of like that's when the new deal really starts to like kick in.
Correct. So what I've heard with that is that CBS and Fox will not be the only two primary Sunday afternoon game slots anymore. You're going to have to add NBC in, ABC, Amazon, Apple TV, and YouTube. There's 5 other places now where I can get a Sunday afternoon game now. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, Daniel, the way we consume football is going to be miles and miles away from what we're looking at today. I mean, I think in the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to be different.
That's interesting because I'm just used to CBS, Fox. Usually get the second Fox late afternoon slot, NBC on Sunday night, and then obviously Thursday night for Monday Night Football, and then occasionally you get the Saturday night games. But yeah, I mean the NFL is definitely, especially because people are cutting cords, people are finding different mediums to take in entertainment. The NFL has to kind of adjust if they're going to keep on making money. So again, if the NFL
it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy
and keep their pockets filled. They will blow up the entire model. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about that.
So I have this theory. Okay, work with me here. YouTube is a big deal. Obviously, I do that. Everybody's into YouTube now, and the way we watch games. There's a lot of people that watch this morning show that when the Dolphins game is on, they put it on mute and they listen to other YouTubers. We have Dougley Do Wrong, we have TD Finns Talk, we have Reason, we have Pamela, we have a lot of other platforms that will watch the games live. And so I'll listen to their reaction instead of the play-by-play, right? I said that Pat McAfee was working on a deal, and he's working on something big. And I think it's with Amazon. And here's what I think. You know how the DirecTV package has Andrew Siciliano there for that Red Zone package?
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is if Amazon wins the deal for Sunday Ticket, that Pat McAfee is going to get the Red Zone channel. And you'll be able to watch all the games with Pat McAfee, but it'll be like you hear Pat McAfee instead of the games, and it'll be with his group of people.
Yeah.
Do you I'm like that? People would pay money for that. People would listen to that.
Yeah. I mean, he has a. I mean, you see what he's done with his own show right there. I mean, that's a big following right there. So, yeah, again, it's gonna be interesting. You know?
I have all this. My brain works totally differently when it comes to marketing and how the NFL is going to look, in the future. But I'm excited for it. You can only pay right now to get Sunday ticket, which is like $400, $300, $400 for the year, right? I think there'll be a time where whoever wins the package, I just want to watch Dolphins games.
Yeah,
I'll pay
like an a la carte. Like I just want to like.
Yep.
I think that'd be great. I mean, I always kind of wondered why you couldn't do that. I mean, I'm going on Reddit streams and pulling up games out of market because I'm not trying to pay all that money for Sunday tickets. So,
hey, shush! They'll get you, Daniel. Don't you do it. You got a good paying job, man. Don't let them get you over that. Okay. And then the other thing I also think they're going to do too is I think that the YouTubers are going to get a chance. You'll be able to have the fan cast on whoever does that. So I think that each team will have a dedicated channel. There'll be a Dolphins channel that will have content on it 24. I'm telling you, this is if Amazon, YouTube, or Apple TV get this is where they need to go. And it's going to be revolutionary to how we gain coverage. So just say Steven told you when it happens. Steven knew all this. Steven understood the assignment. He knew what was about to go down. It's big. It was big. And it will be. All right, man. Look, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I appreciate you coming on today. What do you got going on? The next 3 months is going to be kind of boring, right?
I know, it's been kind of boring right now. I mean, we just finished up the draft. Not much going on. I mean, we've still got OTA or off-season workout program going on. I think OTA's starting next week. So that'd be good to kind of see how the guys are doing and watch them in person. We have rookie minicamp coming.
Did you go to F1?
No, I didn't, but I watched.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah, it was.
That was unbelievable what they did to that place.
The way they revamped the entire area around it was incredible.
You know what I would love for you to find out for us? How tailgating is going to work with a lot of those structures. Are they coming down?
I think most of them are coming down from what I've seen. I know Marcel, who covers the team for ESPN, was doing a lot of coverage, and he said that most of that stuff is gonna be taken down because he said obviously Hard Rock is primarily a football stadium.
I just wanted to know how tailgating would work now if some of those structures were going to stay up, because I know because of the construction the last couple of years, it's made tailgating smaller, and smaller.
Yeah, I think I remember Marcel putting out a tweet that the majority of the stuff, like the kind of like the garages and stuff like that, that's going to come down for sure. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, ever since I moved here, I mean, they've been doing it. I was wondering why. I mean, I remember the first practice I went to, they rerouted me all around because of the construction.
It was crazy.
I didn't know what they were doing this for. And then I figure out it's F1 and I'm like, oh, okay, got you. And then you see what it all becomes.
It was crazy. So they released over 280,000 people walked through the gates this weekend in Miami.
I didn't see that. I know that.
Yeah. So F1
was definitely like the largest crowd at Hard Rock ever.
So they had, it was 288,000 people through the doors this past weekend for the 3 days. And they got 83,000 plus on that F1 day.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Insane. Which is insane. Gosh, and I was like, there's no way they stopped doing this. This was revenue for them.
Yeah, well, it was interesting. When my colleagues told a story that they weren't really pulling in a lot of money this year, I guess just because
all the construction and the money. Yeah. They'll get it. They'll make money.
They'll get it back in future.
On the back end, they'll get it back. And by the way, that could be money that could go towards the Dolphins in the future, just so you all know. It could. It might not, but it could. Everybody was there too, man. Did you watch the ABC coverage of that guy running the pit? Yeah. Was that not hilarious?
He ain't know nobody out there. He walked past D-Wade looking for celebrities. And
he had D-Wade and Gabrielle Union right in front of him, and he's like, all righty then, let's go ahead and try to find somebody here. And he just – but it was funny. Number one, I don't blame the guy. He's from England, and supposedly he's a big-time announcer over there.
Yeah.
But it was too funny. I was cracking up. I'm like, this is what ABC's coverage is? Is this guy walking through the pits? What was it? There was the Duke player.
Paulo Banchero.
And he thought he was Patrick Mahomes. My wife and I are sitting there and we're like, how are people going to take this on Twitter? Are people going to be mad or are people going to be like, this is funny?
Nah, it was all in good fun.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. And I think it's going to be big. We saw Tom Brady there. We saw Josh Allen there. We saw Tua there. We saw McDaniel there. I mean, everybody, all the Dolphins were there.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful setup. It was gorgeous.
Right.
Miami does it bigger than anybody as far as I'm concerned. We're the best. You know what? You came to the best place in the world, Miami, Daniel. You got so lucky, bro. You don't even realize. You won the lottery. Didn't even know it. Daniel. All right, Daniel, tell everybody where they can find you, your podcast, all your stuff, social media. Go on and tell the people. Tell the good folk.
Yeah, for all Dolphins updates, easiest way to keep up to that with that is follow me on Twitter at Daniel Oyefusi, just like you see it right below. Miami Herald, MiamiHerald.com is where write all my stories. If you're interested in only the sports stuff, we were talking Heat earlier, we were talking Panthers earlier. If you want to, check out that as well as the Dolphins content, you can get a sports only pass. Just go to MiamiHerald.com. You can get that. The Dolphins in Depth podcast every week comes out wherever you get podcasts and on the website as well. So definitely check that out.
Daniel, thank you so much for coming on. I love having you on. Next Tuesday when you come on, I guess we're going to talk NFL schedule release, and we'll have a lot of fun with that, and that'll be a good conversation too, man. Thank you so much, dude. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, Clock Blockers. I am your host, Stephen D. Super excited that you're all hanging out with me. We still got a big show lined up for you all today. Some stuff I want to talk about, and then I'll open up the panel, and I'll bring you all on, and we'll talk. But let me say hello to people in the chat first who've been in the chat this morning. #1, 1, 2, 3, 4 Epps, Pete's Takes, EM Baller, Manza Chill, Cap for Life, Von Joe, Jose Valdez, Trey, Word of Mouth. Who else I got up in here? AA, Concrete Slick. What's up, man? How are you? Who else is up in here? Who else? I'm just saying hello to the people in the chat at the moment. Kenna, what's up, Kenna? Super excited that you're here watching this morning. Ryan AP. David and Natasha. Good morning, David and Natasha. Glad you're here this morning watching with me. Trucker Sean 1981 in the building. Paul Glover in the building. Like it. Batman's Pop. What's up? Nick. I like it, Batman's Pop. Who else we got up in here? Green Rat. Good morning, Green Rat. Marty Woodley. What's up, Marty? Sean Tunzel's in here. Alan M. What's up, Alan, buddy? How are you, sir? Estefan. Bowleg. Mark K. What's up, Mark K? I like it. I just wanted to say good morning to y'all, man. Todd Labruto. What's up, Ivan? Scott Jackson. What's going on, everybody? Super excited. We have not watched Doctor Strange yet. Do not. No spoilers over here, Mensa. No spoilers at all. All right, so let me just kind of talk about, look, I promise we'll get into the Dolphins talk because there is a lot of stuff I want to talk about that. But there's a few things I want to get into before we do that, okay? So first thing I want to do is just talk about this hockey game last night. This hockey game last night was unbelievable. If you guys missed out, you missed a great one. The Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals, this series has turned out to be better than I thought it would. I thought the Capitals would win in 5. It's clearly going 6 or 7. And I it's always tough for me to say somebody's going to sweep somebody in any playoff series, whether it's hockey, basketball, baseball, whatever. But it's just such a good series. One of the things that I find, again, I don't think I'm a casual hockey fan. I'm a little bit higher than a casual hockey fan, but I think hockey playoffs, playoff hockey is the best thing to watch in sports. No doubt about that. Okay. Now, what I will tell you, Trucker Sean says, Stephen D, I'm going to cover El Capitan's swear jar from yesterday's Chef Shoe. It was $5. So when I donate, I will add the 5 in it. Look at you, Trucker Sean, my guy. Okay, appreciate that. See, y'all are just spreading kindness today. One of the things that I find about this is Washington Capitals are so good at two things in this series. Number one, they're good at that power play kills. The Florida Panthers went on 3 straight power plays in the second period last night. Couldn't get anything. I think they had a total of 3 shots in 6 minutes on power plays. Unbelievable to me. Unbelievable to me. Could not believe that was going down, and they just could not get it. They couldn't get it. And Washington comes out, and they do such a good job on the power play as well. So I think the Capitals still have a lot of pieces from that championship team a few years ago. And those pieces that they have understand what it takes to win. And I think that's part of what you're seeing in this Panther series. I don't know if the Panthers thought this was going to be a walkthrough or a cakewalk in this series, but let me tell you, it hasn't been in any way, shape, or form. The other thing that I thought was interesting last night is with about 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. By the way, the second goal that Washington had never should have counted. Dude, I can't remember the player that got decked, but he got decked in the middle of the ice, and then they went the other way and scored. It should have been a penalty on Washington, clear as freaking day, and it should have been another power play for the Panthers, and the goal shouldn't have counted. But it was nonetheless. With 3 minutes and 10 seconds left, we pull the goalie. And usually you pull the goalie with a minute left, maybe 90 seconds. But to pull it with over 3 minutes left in the game to try to get that extra goal, ballsy. Ballsy is what I'll say. And it worked. It worked out. It barely worked. There was one right when they first did it, DC got the puck and almost shot it down to the empty net and missed by that much. It hit the plank. It hit the metal. But it was a great game nonetheless. We tie the game up with 3 minutes left in regulation. We go into overtime, and the Panthers win it, and they tie this game back at 2 apiece. And so that puts home ice back on Florida, which is great. Game 5 will be tomorrow night in Florida. I promise you, if you do not watch hockey, watch this series. It's a great series. 2 great teams, and this is only the first round, guys. We still get 3 more rounds of this. So I need the Panthers to keep winning, keep advancing. It is a lot of fun. It was very frustrating watching them last night, but after it was done, I'm like, man, I love me some playoff hockey. I love me some playoff hockey. I know that. It's good stuff. Okay, next. Got to talk NBA playoffs last night. NBA playoffs was really, really good last night. There were 2 games that stuck out for me. Obviously, the Celtics and the Bucks. Just to hit on the Celtics and the Bucks last night. Celtics and the Bucks Celtics win 116-108. I really think the Bucks, who by the way are the defending champions in the NBA, are the better team by far and away. But when you have Al Horford and Jason Tatum both dropping 30 points, unreal. They dropped 60 points. They dropped half the points together. And then Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart with 18. They even had Derek White with 11. I mean, and for the most part, the starters played the entire game for the most part. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 3 other people came off the bench last night for Boston. And they still beat Milwaukee with Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, by the way, had a great game himself. He had 34 points. They also had Drew Holiday in double digits, Brook Lopez in double digits, Wesley Matthews in double digits, Pat Connaughton in double digits. Great series that's there. A lot better than I thought it would be. I thought Milwaukee would run away with it, but Boston's showing up. Last night, the Warriors and Grizzlies also played. Grizzlies lost a heartbreaker by 3 points. Ja Morant did not play last night. After the game, you saw Jordan Poole and Ja Morant shake hands. If you guys didn't see, he's out because Poole, was it a dirty play or not, went after his knee, chasing a loose ball. We don't know, but it looked like all was cool between them during the postgame and shaking hands. Warriors last night, when it came down to it, Steph had 32 points. And then there were, Otto Porter, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins, all with double digits nonetheless. Last night, Kuminga, who actually started the game, Jonathan Kuminga, forward for them, only ended up playing 5 minutes and had 0 points. But their Golden State's bench is a lot deeper than Memphis's is. But look, they hardly got one player with 20 points. You're not going to win without Ja Morant playing against Golden State. You need Ja Morant to win. So hopefully he comes back for the next game in Game 5. But I think Golden State's got this. They now lead the series 3-0. But it doesn't matter because tonight at 7:30, it goes down in Miami. That's right. The Philadelphia 76ers face the Miami Heat. It's going to be, I am stoked for this game. Just excited. Straight excited about it. I don't know about you, but I'm stoked for it. It's going to be a great game. Look, you win at home, you go all the way. And I don't even think you need to stop Embiid, because here's a reality. If you go back and look at Game 4, they could do exactly what they did, but just make 20% more of their shots. They win that game. They win that game in Game 4. The Heat do if they just make 20%, convert 20% more of their shots. That's it. I know that sounds like a lot, or maybe it doesn't, depending on who's listening. But I'm telling you, that's what they don't really need to do too much different. They just need to convert on their shots. And I personally think take less threes and try to go into the paint more, because they were great from field goal percentage the last couple of games. They couldn't bring it out in Philly for some reason. And Embiid was the difference maker. I'm not going to say that he wasn't. Right? I'm not going to say that he wasn't. And you gotta realize too, Harden playing like the old Harden in Game 4, that plays a lot into it as well. He had a big fourth quarter. So all you got to do is stop Harden, from not being what he was in the fourth quarter. And you can keep doing what you were doing with Embiid. Let him get his points. It's not going to matter. But I'm telling you right now, Miami's going to be up 3-2 after tonight. It's going to be good stuff. Mark my words. It's going to be good stuff. All right. All right. Enough about that. The other things that I thought were interesting that I wanted to talk about was this Tom Brady thing. Tom Brady signing a lucrative deal with Fox Sports to be the color analyst on the number one play-by-play color team for Fox. Now that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have now gone to ESPN and ABC, they need to have a better team there. And so they got one half of the deal. I don't know if Kevin Burkhart's going to be the guy that's going to go with them, but maybe he is. But it'll be very interesting to see, nonetheless, how that looks in the future. So does Tom Brady play for 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years? I don't know, but it looks like he's got what he's going to do after his career ends. And I would say for the fans or the people that thought he was coming to Miami to be in the front office or ownership, I think that ship sailed. So it's very interesting to see how that's going to play out. From a Dolphins perspective, it'll be unique nonetheless to say. So, look, you can't never say never, but the goal is Tua is the guy this year, right? And so as long as Tua is the guy this year, that's all. And I've never saw him coming to play at this point now. If anything, he would have been a front office guy at least an ownership. So I still think he can have some ownership. He just can't be involved in the day-to-day operations. If he's doing something for Fox Sports, I think is what Daniel said. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And then look, Sony Michel getting signed last night was a big deal for me. And here's why, and I'll say it again, and I alluded to it in the conversation with Daniel this morning. Getting him was amazing. Getting Sony Michel was amazing. Here's 2 reasons. Number 1, he chose us over the Saints. So by far, at minimum, he thinks the Dolphins, I mean, and look, they are. They should be. The Dolphins are a much better team. The rumor is Saints had a bigger contract on the table. So he took less money to come to us, which means he thinks we're going to win. And the third thing is what Nick Hicks said in his tweet earlier this morning. He said that these two guys have been friends. They met in the offseason a couple of years ago or in the last couple of years, and they hit it off right off the bat. And now they're, they've been wanting to play with each other. He saw this coming. I think that's awesome. I think that's just awesome. Okay. It just makes my heart happy. Okay. And I'm excited to see it. So look, Sony knows how to win. Been on 2 Super Bowl teams, Patriots and the Rams, and also wants to win and wants to keep winning. So he chose Tua. And I don't need that to get past anybody. He chose Tua. And I'm interested to see what the Dolphins do. We still have 17 plus mil in cap space, if I'm correct, because this Sony Michel deal was for 2.1 mil for 1 year. It's interesting to see what we have left. I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. And to some other fans' points, the Dolphins are doing things that nobody else has ever done. Right? Nobody else, or no other former Dolphin team really has ever done. Let me say that. No other Dolphin team has ever done. We revamped our running back room. It's going to look totally different. Totally different. And I'm here for it. And it says a lot when your number one running back, Gaskins, who's been our number one for the last 2 years, is now our number 4. Maybe even 5? Maybe. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot about what was here and what we're doing heading into the future. Sony Michel allows us on many different, his blocking ability is unbelievable. Unbelievable. There were clips of him last night online of him and his blocking of guys coming from the opposite end of the field and him coming over the entire offensive line to block. He looks good. And he got 845 yards the kid can eat. He can eat. He got 845 last year. I just think, Raheem Mostert will be very interesting to see. Chase Edmonds the speed is key, and getting a guy like Sony Michel makes me very, very happy. And it also makes me know that this Dolphins team is not done yet. I still think we got another move or two. I still think we have another move or two. I don't know what that move is, but I think we have another move or two. And the other thing to this is this roster is something that looks really, really good, right? This roster has added so much depth at certain places and has realized that speed is the key to success. We could start a track team with what we have in speed on this team. And so, who are other guys? I never thought about when we drafted Tyndall in the draft. I was like, okay, I think we're done at linebacker. But it also makes me think, after what Daniel said, maybe we do go out and get one more pass rusher. Maybe having a built, going after the quarterback is something that is going to be really huge for us to our success with the secondary that we have. So maybe it does make sense to me that we still go after Melvin Ingram. I don't know. But another pass rusher wouldn't hurt. He would add more depth. And here's the good thing about everything that I'm saying. If injuries do happen, God forbid, knock on wood, the next man up is still going to be somebody that can do it And I'm telling you right now, the running back room, just to go back to that, is the deepest it's been in a very long time. Our running back room is just as good as it was with when it had Ricky. We don't have a Ricky here, but the depth and the completeness of it is great. Is great. I'm not saying we have a Ricky here, but I think the running back room itself is better than it's been since Ricky itself as a whole. The position. I mean, Ricky and Ronnie were great when they were here with us. But man, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mozart, Alec Ingold, Myles Gaskins, Sony Michel, that's a running back room that is talent. That's talent. Talent, I tell you. Batman says Bradbury would be awesome. Again, I'm not putting anything past the Dolphins going after a free agent for more depth. If they want to go after Bradbury and Bradbury's willing to take a veteran minimum to come here for the most part, so be it. Now, do I think he's coming here? No. But I wouldn't put it past Miami. Why not? Why not? I thought Honey Badger would have been a good place here, but Honey took the money in New Orleans and also went home. Right? So, I'm not sure where the Dolphins go from here. I know there's a lot of other. Look, J.C. Tretter's the guy I want. And why do I want it? Because it's the same reason I love the Sony Michel signing for the Dolphins, right? The depth that we have is insane. Is insane at the running back. So if a player goes down, next man up, we're good to go. Right now, I'm scared about the O-line. And I'm scared because we've never had consistency or somebody that we can rely on and be like, okay, our O-line's going to – we haven't had a good O-line. So I just want J.C. Tretter for depth, at minimum depth. Now, he'll start. Question is where if he comes on. We don't have a Ricky, but each of the top three grabs 750 yards and it makes them the 2002 Ricky. You're right. You're right. I told everyone Gaskins might not make the team. Y'all called me crazy. You're right, Epps. You said that, and I did. I was like, there's no way. Because he's been the number one running back the last 3 years. Let me tell you something. If you had to ask me last year, Steven, at the end of last year, or heck, at the beginning of this offseason, Steven, the Dolphins are going to revamp the entire running back room. I was like, no way. We're decent there. We just need to add 1 or 2 pieces. You realize we added 4 pieces to the running back room? Plus, right? Mozart, Edmonds, Ingold, and Michel. Gaskins might not even be here. No way I saw that coming. I can admit that. Steven, we don't need Tretter. What do you mean we don't need Tretter, Alex? Of course we need Tretter. Kane's 19. Why do the Dolphins keep giving out 1-year deals instead of multi-year deals? Is it because Ross is being cheap? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Really? Really? All right, so let me answer your question. And let me tell you why my reaction is that. Now, I don't think you were trying to be that way, but my reaction was that. So let me explain one thing. He's giving out 1-year deals because he's being very cap friendly, but he's able to do that because people want to come play here because of all the talent we have here. One of the things that Tampa Bay's been so good at doing the last 2 or 3 years is allowing veteran free agents to come play there at veteran minimums because they want to play with the talent there and help win a Super Bowl. When you get people like Sony Michel coming in on a 1-year cheap deal like he is, because he could get more money, don't get it twisted. He's basically saying, Sony, I want you here, but this is what I can afford right now, and I also want to bring in other people, and I want to build something here. So just because these guys are on 1-year deals, don't get it twisted. if we go deep into the playoffs, they'll resign here again at other veteran minimums. They'll do it again. So it's not him being cheap. If anything, Stephen Ross has been the least cheapest person in the NFL. The man has given out money upon one. And look, I've told you on a million occasions, I'm not a big Stephen Ross fan. I think he's done a disservice to this franchise in a lot of different ways. But one thing I will not say about Stephen Ross is that he's cheap. This man spends money. Kane's 1989, and he spends a lot of it. Doesn't always go to the right places. But he spends money on the team. And that's one thing you can't say about him. So I don't know. Ross is not being cheap in any way, shape, or form. He's trying to get as many people through the door that he can to say, I did everything in my power to give this city a chance at a Super Bowl. And that's what I think he's doing, you know? Let's see here. You sound like last year with the running back, Steven. I bet you $100 we don't crap top 10 in rushing, not yards after catch or scat back, straight up running. Well, first of all, I don't bet Cat for Life. You know that. Let's see here. We need a solidified center. I'm at the home of the top 5 flip-floppers, Trey. We're upset because we're paying guys small deals and they accept it. Let's see here. It was needed to revamp. Gaskins will be used in the outside with speed. His hands are used. We're signing 1-year deals because the cap number is real, Stephen D. It's being manipulated, Trey. I got you. It's real. You're right. It's there. And if we make a deep run and it looks promising, I would say 85% of these guys will re-sign next year. Last year, 2 years ago, Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. And in that offseason, every single person re-signed. Every single person re-signed. He's saving money in the capital. No, he's not. Okay, I only asked that question is because I wondered what your opinion, Stephen. Yeah, and Kane's 1989, and my initial response to you of, oh my God, this is, I feel like people want to, it's very easy to point the finger at Ross. And don't get it twisted. I was a guy up here saying, fire Ross. I said it. And most of me still believes that because he's not done it. But now we're so far into this year, and I know that he's willing to open up his checkbook, and a lot of owners are not willing to do that. Let's get that straight. He's our owner, and I'm living with him. But if it does not work out this year, bro, you've done it all. You've done pretty much it all, and you have not been able to do it. But he's opened up his checkbook. And that's more than I can say for 75% of owners in all of sports. They're not willing to open up their checkbooks. Here comes Steven to defend Ross after saying he was the worst owner in sports and should be required to sell the team. Ban flip-flopping, level 2 noob. I said I still feel that way about him. If he sold the team now, it is what it is. But you also have to admit, level 2 noob, how many owners in sports? There are a few. There are a few. Okay? There are people that sign deals. How many owners in sports, though, are willing to sign a wide receiver $36 million check to come here? Right? There are plenty of owners in sports that realize that they have stars and that the market dictates that they pay them X number of dollars and do not pay them. Stephen Ross does not care about that. Greer will manipulate the cap so that it can make it work and get these guys in here. There's a lot of 1-year deals because they are manipulating the cap. Because the cap's a real thing. It is. I got you. I understand. But don't get it twisted. Stephen Ross has done more harm to this team than help. But right now, my evaluation of him currently is he's doing the best he can with what he has. And what he has is a paycheck. He's got money. He's got the bank. And he's signing what he needs to sign for people to come in. And Greer's doing his thing too. Let's see here. How the money is spent and where it is allocated is not Ross. It's on Greer and the coaches. He still has to okay the deal. Stephen, we already have a starting center. Dieter and Williams just get to back up. That's it. Alexander, this has been one of the worst offensive lines track record. I want 5 bona fide starters, okay? I don't just want to get by. If Dieter goes down, it's not good. Give me Treader. Give me I want them. I'm not sold. And here's the thing. I'm not sold because my eyes haven't seen it yet, right? My eyewitness hasn't seen them do it yet. I love Applebaum, the new offensive line coach. I think he's going to be a great asset to this team. I've said on many occasions, he's the biggest asset the Dolphins got this offseason. So in my heart of hearts, I believe that he's going to build up the current talent that's on the roster currently on the O-line. But I haven't seen it yet. And until I see it, if we have a chance to upgrade on paper, you upgrade on paper. Especially at the O-line. Because games are won and lost in the trenches. I want to see Ndamukong Suh here. Or Akeem Hicks. Give me one of those two guys on the DT. Come on, bro. You give me one of those two guys at defensive tackle all day. All day. Like, games are won and lost in the trenches. So I don't want to hear that our O-line is good as it is, Alexander. I'll disagree with you. You could always upgrade there. Always. Can never have enough. Trey said, Alex Diaz, we're on the same page. Our center is already on the roster. J.C. Treader isn't worth the hype coming off that injury, IMO, in my opinion. Look, I disagree with you and Alex, but it is your opinion, and I'll give you that. All I can say is the spending needs to produce winning and championships for the Dolphins over time. That you're not wrong about, Kane 1989. You are not wrong. The Dolphins, look, here's a harsh reality, okay? A harsh reality is the Dolphins have made 1 million transactions and spent a buttload of money this year and next year, for that matter. If it does not result in playoff appearances and getting a chance to get to the Super Bowl, it's going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be heartbreaking. I'm not going to sugarcoat you, Kings 1989. That's what it is. Who owns the Jags? Christian Kirk. Exactly. Shad Khan. Khan owns them, if I'm correct, right? Khan does. I get you, Canes 1989. I'm not a fan of him either, and I've admitted that. But you can't let your emotions point you in the wrong direction and put the blame in the wrong area. We pay up for elite guys. The Jags pay up for mid players. I like that. Marty Woodley says we need depth at center and O-line. Paul Glover says, imagine if he would have left us here in Florida with that tab of the stadium. Say what you want about Ross. We aren't paying extra taxes like in New York. It's also Florida, but you're not wrong, you know. Manza Chill, does anybody got a Dolphins tattoo on them? I have a Dolphins tattoo, Manza. Look at that bad boy. That's my Dolphins tattoo. Let's see. Tag me in Twitter if you have a Dolphins tattoo. I'll put it up here. Tag me at Stephen D SKPL on Twitter with the photo, and I'll put it up on the screen. All right, let's see here. JC Treader has questionable knees and didn't practice. But are we really? If I took a poll right now, would you rather have JC Treader or any of the Miami Dolphins starting centers from the last 3 years, I guarantee you majority would be J.C. Tretter. Guarantee you. Bonjo, that's funny, Steven. You have only seen inconsistencies with Tua, but you willing to ride with him. But you're not willing to ride with our O-line based on all the coaching and O-line experts we got. Shame. I never said that, Bonjo. See, this is the problem. If I talk about Tua, right, people want to go to what he's done on the field and want to be like, oh, Steven, you're willing to talk about the hope and doing it. All right. And I say, well, look, I get what's happened on paper or what's happened in the past. I get it. I also understand what's happens on paper with our roster and where this coach is bringing him into, and I get it. Right. It's okay for me to say one thing, but if I say the same exact thing in the opposite way, hey, look, we haven't done it yet. Okay. And I understand the hope of bringing this guy in, and I want to see it. But in the meantime, I want to see us upgrade on paper. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, Bonjo. Swear jar for me twice. Let me give myself a swear jar twice. Okay? Like it's what am I supposed to do about that? I never said that. I am very optimistic that Matt Applebaum will teach these guys, but I haven't seen it. And as a Dolphins fan, it's tough for me to believe in something I haven't seen fully. It's tough for me to believe fully. I'm optimistic about it. I'm hopeful, but I haven't seen it. And until I see it, I need to justify a little bit better me feeling about the O-line. But I would say Tretter all day. You would rather have Ted Karras or Dieter over Tretter? No way. Tretter all day. If we could get a better quarterback for 8 to 12 mil, we would have done that in a heartbeat. Oh, here we go. Stephen D, did I push a button? I feel like I pushed a button. You did. 100%. Tretter with bad knees and can't practice. I'll take Dieter over him. Y'all are funny. Funny is what I'll say. If you guys want to ask me a question, put it in the chat. Hashtag Dolphin Chat. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Every $5 donation that you give to the channel, you will be entered to win an autographed mini helmet courtesy of ZSM Sports. I will let you know who that player is as soon as I find out. I should find out either later on today or this afternoon sometime. But you will know by tomorrow who that autographed player is going to be. I can promise you it will not be Jerome Baker. How about that? It will not be Jerome Baker. So I'm hoping it'll be a bigger player for the Dolphins, autographed mini helmet. Maybe even a former big-time player. So donate to the channel, $5 increments. Every $5 gets you a slot into the giveaway on Friday afternoon. Okay? Let's go. Donate, help the channel grow. Stephen D, just remember I love you, bro. I love you too, man. All right, ask your questions. I want to answer your questions. I am here for your questions right now. Hashtag Dolphin Chat. Put it in. Use the hashtag Dolphin Chat while asking your questions, or donate to the channel and ask your questions. Donate $1 for every question that you ask. Let's go. Let's go. Let's raise some money for the channel. Let's answer some questions. Let's have a good debate. Cesar says, what's acceptable numbers for Tua this season? What's acceptable numbers? That's so tough to say, Cesar, because the reality is we revamped the entire backfield, right, for the most part. And so, I think the better question, Cesar, is what is an acceptable number for the running back room this year? And I think if we get anywhere between 15 and 1,800 yards from total scrimmage this year, I think we'll be fine, but I would love to see 2,000. I know that's asking a lot. But I would love to see it. I would love to see that. I think 15 to 1,800 from the backfield with I'll say 10 to 15 touchdowns from the running backs. Maybe even let's say 18 to 25. 18 to 25 from the running backs. I think that will be good. That will be good. Let's see here. Will Tua be the most improved player on this team, Stephen D? I believe so. I think he has to be, Trey. I think he has to be in order to. I mean, just by pure math, all the additions that we've made on this team on the offensive side, he's got to get better. And if he doesn't, he's so not the guy. But he's got to based on that alone. What's acceptable numbers for Noah this year, Noah Igbo this season? Ian Baller, I'll say I just want him to start. I just want him to play. I don't even want him to start. Just play all 17 games. Just dress. Dress for all 17 games. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Steven, will Phillips get 15 plus sacks? Let me think about that for a second. No, he will not. But I say that because I think other players are also going to get sacks too. But I don't think Phillips gets 15 this year. I think he gets 10 to 15, but I don't think he gets 15 plus. Will Haaland get 4 to 6 picks? Yes. Haaland will get 4 plus picks this year. Will Waddle catch 14 touchdowns? Yes, he will catch 14 touchdowns, but his receptions will go down. His total receptions will go down. What else we got here? Bro just danced around the question. I didn't dance around a question, Omar. Let's see here. Trey says Haaland isn't going to get 4 to 6 picks. I say 3 tops. I think he's going to get 4. 4 sounds good. Steven will know it get 10 plus sacks. No way. Why do you refuse to put expectations on Tua? Totally duck that question. It's not all right. So number one, fair question, level 2 noob. I don't think that I ducked the question. I don't think I have a clear understanding of what this offense is going to look like yet. So if I go and say, okay, I want Tua to have 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns and under 12 interceptions, right? Then I'm like, who am I to say that that's going to be the case with the running backs that we have in the backfield and stuff like that, right? I if I'm honest with myself, I think he has to have over 35,000 yards or 3,500 yards. Sorry, 35,000, 3,500 yards. And I want him to get 20 plus touchdowns, right? I think that's fair to say, but what if we're doing it out of the backfield and we're just straight killing it and we're getting 150 yards from scrimmage from the backfield per game or 200 plus yards and 2 plus touchdowns? Tua doesn't have to air the ball out then. He doesn't have to. So it's not that I'm refusing to put expectations on Tua. My point is, what do those numbers look like? I don't know. Because I don't know what this offense is truly going to look like. I see what the backfield is, and I see what our wide receivers are. But is it going to be a balanced attack? Are we going to be more run heavy? Are we going to be throwing on first down? Or are we going to be running on first and second down and throwing on third? I don't know. I know there's a million different things we can do with the personnel that we have on this team. Paul Glover asked, Dolphins chat, do you think Flores was part of the defense success last year, or do you think we're fine with the defensive coordinator? Another fair question, Paul. What I will say is I'm nervous. At most, I'm nervous about it. I think that the Dolphins front office was very hesitant on really letting anybody truly walk from this team that was a part of this defense that wasn't a Flores guy per se, right? Because they wanted to keep as much consistency on defense to try to keep this defense intact. They knew what type of defense we had, right? But I think the reality is, and it depends on who you believe, what I believe is something what other people don't believe. I believe that the moment that Flores started calling defenses, play calling on defense, the defense got better. Take that for what you will. Flores isn't here anymore. So what happens now? We'll have to see what happens. I said from day one, McDaniel was told, that the person on defense is going to, like, he's inheriting this defense. Let's see here. Will we trade Howard this year? No, we're not. No, we're not. 1234 F says anything less than 3,800 yards and 25 touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions and 200 plus yards rushing is unacceptable. Boy, you just got big hopes on him, man. Flipside wants y'all to ask what type of internet speed and phone service does he need to come onto the panel so he doesn't freeze up every 5 seconds. He lives in a dead zone. He wants to know how y'all do it. Help our boy out. You gave Waddle 14 touchdowns, so I guess Tua's going to have 30 since we don't know that everyone else will catch at least 16 combined. Here's what I'll say. Waddle's receptions will go down, but I think he will get targeted with red zone opportunities more. Okay? That's what I think. I think Tua's receptions will go down, but he will get more red zone opportunities because we'll be in the red zone more. And I think that will allow him to get his 14 touchdowns this year. So by your philosophy of Tua's going to have 30, maybe. I don't know. You got to admit that the backfield alone is going to get 15, 10 to 15. Minimum. There's too much talent in the backfield for them not to get touchdowns. You know? So I think it's a good discussion, Zizou. I think it's a good discussion. Flip-flopping. I love flip-flops. Trey said everyone in their mama no flow had that defense rolling on that winning streak, but some earned it out. I know that they did. Hashtag Dolphins chat. So you believe that we are going to be a run-first offense, right, Stephen D? Bonjo, you are putting words in my mouth this morning, dude. I love you, brother. But that is not what I said. I said I don't know. Paul Glover says, how pissed is Mika Fitzpatrick that Flores chased him to Pittsburgh? Hashtag Dolphin chat. I'm not sure, but I do find it funny nonetheless. I do think it's interesting. It's good stuff, man. Let's see here. Zizou, I saw your message, man. Whatchamacallit is out of town. So Cameron has the hoodies. Cameron has not sent the hoodies out. I know y'all are waiting for your hoodies. You've been waiting for a minute. It's on Cameron. Cameron is on Friday. Y'all can yell at Cameron on Friday, but he has them packaged and ready to go. He has not sent them out with the addresses yet. Okay, so we yell at Cameron. Yell at Cameron when you see him. They will come to you, I promise, and I will make it up to you in other ways, bro. I promise y'all. I'm sorry if you have not gotten your hoodies yet, but they will come. He is in. He's at a wine conference. He deals with wine, so he's at a wine conference this week. So I don't think they're going to go out in the next couple of days because I saw his social media and he is on a plane this morning. So I don't think he's going to get sent out in the next few days. But y'all can yell at Cameron. Go yell at Cameron. Cap for life, you yell at Solo. All right, let's see here. I'm reading what was just sent to me. Oh, I'm not reading that. I get that article. All right, let's see here. Band flip-flopping. Y'all are funny. Mans and Chill asked, are we going to average 30 points this year? I'm not sure. I want to say, I think 27 is more likely. That field goal is going to be crazy. That field goal is going to be crazy. Okay. It'll be very interesting to see. All right, let's see. I'm going through the chat. I think 27 points per game is more likely. I already answered that. Sorry, Stephen D. Waddle receptions will go up because they will double team Tyreek Hill. Disagree. Way too many weapons there for his receptions to go up. Way too many weapons. Stephen, you don't know the Finns playbook yet? How dare you, sir? I know. Rick Spar says, why is Von Joe busting your balls this morning? LOL. I don't know. Why are you busting my balls this morning, Von Joe? All right, guys, come on. Send your questions in. I'll answer your questions right now. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Let's go. Come on. Flipside Fishing says, anybody going to open practices and want to meet up? I'm sure the open practices schedule will probably be released in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I bet. But after the schedule comes out on Thursday, it should be a very slow month. Very slow. 2 months probably. Well, if you hate Tua, they will score 10. If you love Tua, it's 40. It's somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be 27. Sorry. Whew. Sorry. James Long, Steven, do you think Gaskins will make this team? Man, after last night, I don't know. Let's play that game a little bit, right? If we keep 5 running backs, and you got to add the fullback to that, okay? How many wide receivers do we keep? Right? So let's put Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, Alec Ingold already in. Those 3 are in, right? Sony Michel in. That's 4. And then Gaskins is 5. And Salvin Ahmed ain't no pushover. So you know, the first question is, will Salvin Ahmed, who is more likely to make the team, Salvin Ahmed or Gaskins? And then the question comes after that is, do you think both of them can make the team? Right? So with that being said, that's the first question you got to ask. And then you got to go to the standpoint of, okay, let's say you want them both to make the team. On the running back side, and the tight ends, wide receivers and tight ends, right? So you got Hunter Long, Durham Smythe, Gesicki. Got to think those guys are gonna. Waddle, Tyreek Hill, actually, let me start here. Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I think Easy E actually makes the team as the third. Cedric Wilson, 4. Or Cedric Wilson third, Easy E 4. Albert Wilson, 5. Are we keeping 6, 7, or 8 wide receivers? So you got to think Albert Wilson's going to make the team, right? Is Lynn Bowden going to make the team? Preston Williams? You got Trent Sherfield? Trey says Waddle, Hill, Wilson, Easy E, Bowden, Sherfield, and Preston. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers, plus 3 tight ends. That's 10. That's 10 people that can catch. I don't think we keep 7 wide receivers. I know we don't keep 8. How about that? 7 is a very interesting number. And then, do we keep 4 or 5 running backs? Which include Alec Ingold. $53, I think, are active on game day. 53 are active on game day. We had 7 last year, wide receivers. Sherfield plays a lot of special teams, and that's the other thing, too. That's the other So, it's funny that you say that. So you say, James says Sherfield plays a lot of special teams as well, right? That brings up another good point, because you want Gaskins to make this team, or Ahmed. Can either one of those guys play special teams? Because if you're the 4th or 5th running back, you got to play special teams. You got to. I know it's going to be an absolute dogfight to make the 53 this year. True words have never been spoken, Mr. Glover. Bowden is going to make it. I don't know after that. Because he got a bigger contract in Vegas, God Soldier. He had a better opportunity there. He went there before Devontae Adams was traded there, so he thought he would have more opportunity. I think he knew what the Dolphins were about to do in the wide receiver room. And I think he knew he was going to be and I also think he knew that he wasn't going to have a place in the tight end room. So I think he knew he had a better opportunity in Vegas, and it was better for his career to go there. I love Matt Collins. I wish he had stayed. I think he would have fit right in here, but it would have been tough for him to make this squad too. So he thought, by going to Vegas, I get to play with Derek Carr, who's going to throw 40 to 50 times a game, and I'll have a chance to be the number 2 or 3 wide receiver there. And now it's, Devontae Adams showed up there, and who knows what else they've done. So I think it's going to be tough for him to make Vegas's team too. But that's why Mac went to Vegas. It was a better opportunity for him. Trey said that's why I mentioned Sharfield, because of his special plays ability. Steven, no, it's not 53. There are inactives. I thought you would know that, Steven. I mean, there's 53 people that can dress on Sunday. Mac will make the Raiders. I believe he will too, Manza. 100%. That's why I said it's a better opportunity for him. OBJ fits the Miami team and lifestyle. I've heard OBJ's name actually a lot in back channels. I have heard his name a lot in back channels. It would not surprise. Put it this way: at this point, it would surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, not one bit, if Odell were to come here. But do I think it's going to happen? No. But would it surprise me? No. And everybody's like, Steven, you're flip flopping again. No, I just I don't. I don't know if he comes here, but I have heard his name is in a lot of back channels. Salvin Ahmed is going to start over Sony and Chase. That's a hot take, Sean Tunzel. Keep the receipt on that. That's a hot take, y'all. Keep the receipt on Sean's take here. I'm not calling you out. I think it's a hot take for you. You should keep that receipt, and if that comes to play, I'd blast it everywhere. I called that. No way Chase Edmonds doesn't make people miss tackles. Check his highlights. I thought only 46 players dress on Sunday. All right, let's look. How many players dress for an NFL game? 46 dress for the actual game. Okay, 46. See, Zizou, you didn't know either. Okay, you're allowed to have 53 players on the active roster, 46 dress on Sunday, which means this year, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 7 players that are good players are not going to dress on Sunday afternoon. That's crazy. Stephen D wasn't to number 1 in the red zone last year. I'm not sure, bud. I'm not sure. We didn't get there as often as I'd like to get, but hey, this is Sony Michel on the Dolphins Twitter just now.
Hey guys, it's Sony Michel checking in. Just signed my contract, ready to get to work. Fins up. Hey guys, it's Sony Michel checking in. Just signed my contract, ready to get to work. Fins up.
I like it. Let's go. Let's go, Sony. All day. He said it changed to 48. Okay. Well, Google says differently, Zizou. Who am I going to believe, Zizou? You or Google? I believe you, Zizou. I'm sure you know better than Google. I'm being serious there. I wasn't playing. I believe you. Michel Fitz in Miami. He's Haitian as well. Do a poll for what? I don't know if Tua was in the red zone last year. Do y'all know? But see that was the Dolphins' offense number 1, or was Tua as a quarter? And where did you look it up? And who had that stat? He did not sound like Mike Tyson. Look here. He come and I beat him up. I don't have a good Mike Tyson impersonation. Look, what I want to do is I don't have a good one. I'm gonna have to practice that one, and then I'll get back to you. Ryan AP said, not a fan of signing expatriates. Hope he isn't a spy. Oh, come on. Don't believe that, Ryan AP. Paul Glover says Tua was the number 1 quarterback in the red zone. Let's see here. Wow. This is cool. Andy Slater stating, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me make it bigger for you because that's a big thing. South Florida could host 2 Game 7s on Sunday. It would be the first time in the history of sports that it would happen in the same town on the same day. Boy, I would love to go let that happen, boy. That would be cool. 2 Game 7. Let somebody play at 1 and let somebody play at 7. Let somebody play at 1 and let somebody play at 7. Let's go. I kind of want to see 2 Game 7s now and then win both. That'd be crazy. That would be so, as a fan, it would be great. It would be great. I'd love every second of it. Oh, man. What else you guys got? Ask the questions. Bring on the questions. I want to hear from you. Use hashtag Dolphin Chat. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. Miami would be lit, but the Heat going to lose. No, they won't, Trey. You're such a hater, Trey. We're going to get this dub tonight. That ain't going to matter what we do in Philly. That'd be crazy. 2 Game 7s on Sunday. Just win 4 and 6. If it comes to that, though, it'd be fire. It would be fire. Shout out to Shake Money. What's up, Shake Money? Good morning. Don't say good morning to Von Joe, Shake Money. Von Joe's been mean to me all morning. They're so mean to me. Guys, put your questions in the chat. I'll answer your questions right now. Anything you want to ask. Dolphins, anything sports related, anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. You see, you just ignored my question about me in Baltimore. I will assume you don't want to link up. I didn't even see it, Von Joe. See, this is the problem. Y'all think that I missed your question. I didn't miss it. I didn't see it. I ignored your question. I missed it. I didn't see it. What was your question? Let me go back and look at Von Joe's question because I don't want him to think I was ignoring him. God, Von Joe's real needy this morning, y'all. Dolphins chat. Yo, Stephen D, where are we going to get a beer and some food at when I come to Baltimore in late June or July? Hashtag come on. Bro, I got you, man. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get there. I'm still getting all that stuff together. My girlfriend better not expect no attention on Sunday if that happens. My wife's actually going to a girlfriend's house for a girls' night out on Sunday night. Please let that happen on Sunday. And then I've just got to figure out a way to get rid of the kids. And then, boom, I get to be all alone on Sunday. You know how awesome that would be? It'd be awesome. Let's see here. Stephen D, are the Jets 1 and 2 pinch better than our running back room? Real talk. No way. No way. The Jets are, and I'm not saying this as a hater because I do hate the Jets. Okay, I will admit that. But I don't think they're better than. I don't think they have one position or anything that they're better than us at in anything. Nothing. We beat them in every way, shape, or form. O-line, D-line, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, defensive backs, linebackers, kickers, coaches, everything. We whoop their butt in. GM, stadium, by far stadium. We have a better stadium. What are your thoughts on Miami signing another running back? I didn't get that move yesterday, really. That running back room is already full. Kevin Lee, we talked about that a lot this morning. If you go back and listen to it, you'll see what we talked about. So it'll give you a reason to go back and listen to us today and listen to all of it. You listen to what we talked about with Daniel Oyefusi of the Miami Herald, and then if you go a little bit after that, you'll hear me and how I feel about it, which is great. I feel great about it. But I don't want to give it all away, so you got to go back and listen. Keep Avon Joe's name out your mouth. That's my dude. Avon Joe? You mean Von Joe? Steven, Zaquandre White had 4.61 yards after contact. Don't underestimate what he brings to the table. I'm not. But I don't want people to Trey, Stephen D, you gotta add timestamps to the show. Bro, I can't. I've thought about that. I can't. I tried to do it twice, and I can't keep up with it. And there's no way I could go back and listen to the entire show again. So if somebody wants to do that while we're watching the show every morning, great. And I'll take care of you in some way, shape, or form. But I can't listen to that. Can't do it. What else you got here, guys? Bring on your questions, man. I'm here for your questions. I'm not going to open up the panel per se, but what I'll do is I'll bring you on one at a time if you guys want to come on one at a time and ask questions. Because we're not doing any, I'm not going to do a big panel today, but I will take your questions one at a time if you want to come up and talk to me. So questions only, or if you just want to shoot the crap for a couple of minutes, I'll let you come on with just me. But we're not going to do a big panel today. Okay. There we go. There's the link to come on. The I Believe podcast shout out. You, my guy, waiting on the next show. Michael Carter is better than any of our running backs. No way. Steven, you'll always be the guy that broke the Tyreek Hill signing to me. That was epic. I still can see the Jets' sad faces. I like it. Do we beat the Bills at least once this year? Do we beat the Bills at least one time this year? I want to say yes. I want to so bad. Look, here's the reality. If we face Buffalo in week 1, which I've been very adamant that I don't want, but if we do, I do think that it allows us the opportunity, okay? I do think it allows us the opportunity to do it, to win and surprise them with whatever our offense might look like. And I think that's a leg up, but here's the deal. I want to know if we're for real. And my problem with beating Buffalo week 1 is people are going to be like, well, it was a fluke. They weren't prepared. They didn't know how to play against your off. There'll be an excuse with it. But if we beat them later on in the year, I think it'll be bigger. Because it'll mean more. In my opinion. Steven, would you like to travel to the Bills the first week? I just answered that, yeah. Chef Juice says 60 likes, 94 people in the room. Hit that like button. Cap for Life, serious question. Why are the panels being limited to one person, but donations are being asked of more? Who's getting in your ear, man? All right, Cap for Life, fair question. Look, I'm trying to make Wildin' Out Wednesday a bigger deal. I had a panel on yesterday. I think there's times for the panel and there's times for not. And today, I want to talk to people, but I don't want to do a big panel. That's what that is. And as far as the donations are concerned, we're trying to help the channel grow. And look, if you can donate, great. If you can't, you can't. I always tell that to people. But yeah, there's your answer. You and I have been very adamant about no Bills week 1. I agree. I don't care about the excuse how we win as long as we have the win. Guys, the link is in the chat below. You guys can come on and talk to me one-on-one. I think Shake Money says, I like the one-on-one because you get to express yourself without being interrupted. Again, guys, I feel like I try to do a little bit of everything. I have the open panels. They're not going away. I just said today I want to do one-on-one. I want to talk to people one-on-one. And if you want to talk to me, come on. The panels are the best, Cesar said. They're good stuff. But I want to give everybody a chance to talk. And I want to give everybody this show is for everybody. It's not just for one person or one set of people. It's for everybody. Heard Miami might get Detroit on Thanksgiving. Yep, that's true. That is true. That might happen. I've heard a lot of rumors about that. Let's see here. Bills and Rams at the NFL makes too much sense. And coming off that epic playoff performance in Von Miller going back to LA after winning the Super Bowl last year. Yeah, I think that would be that. I think that'd be a good one. All right. Shake Money. What's up, Shake Money?
What's good?
You're breaking up, man. You're breaking up real bad. Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. I said I was about golfing. The whole golfing issue was I didn't have an issue with that.
Shake. You're breaking up, bro. You're breaking up bad. Go out and come back in. In the meantime, let me bring on the Triple S podcast. What's up, man? What's going on, dude?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, man. What's going on?
Beautiful. Not much, man. Just at work, taking a little break. Saw you was live, so I had to hop in, say what's good. What's good in the community.
Hey, man, what's good in the community is you, man.
2 minutes ago. Thank you. I only popped in a couple minutes ago.
How are you, man? What's going on? What do you want to talk about, man? The floor, are you excited for the signing of Sony Michel?
Not really.
Really? Yeah. I'm hype about it.
Is he RB1?
To me, it's not about RB1, right? For me, it's about, this is what it's about, right? It's about depth in that locker room. He had 840 plus yards from scrimmage last year on a Super Bowl winning team. He knows how to win, right? He's a proven back, and he provides depth to a position where there's already a lot of people. And you have to realize, you want to revamp a team, revamp a position, revamp a position room. You did that. Your number one running back the last 2 years in Miles Gaskins has now gone from first on the depth chart the last 2 years to now RB4, maybe even RB5.
So let me ask you. So what was the question specifically that you asked? Did you ask if I'm excited for this?
Are you excited? Yeah. Are you excited about it?
Okay, so I'm gonna stick to that. No, I'm not excited. And what you just said is all true. I agree with that. It definitely provides depth. He's definitely a solid piece. 845 yards is nothing to scoff at for sure on the Rams, nonetheless. Mm-hmm. I will say though that in terms of being excited, he's not really a flashy, super explosive guy. He's reliable, great pass blocker, in the backfield. But to say I'm excited, no. To say I'm happy, yeah, I'm happy that we signed him. We have more depth now for sure, and another good player in the backfield for sure.
I like what Von Joe just brought up, and I was literally about to say the same thing, Von Joe, but I'll give you credit for it. He said there's no such thing as an RB1 on the team. It's just a running back in the community. We're a running back by committee, is what we are. And so do I know if Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, or Sony Michel, or even Miles Gaskins is going to be the person to get the bulk of the loads of carry? No. I think we're going to find that in the offseason. This morning, people want me to answer questions about What are the numbers you think Tua's going to get? Or what are the numbers you think? It's tough for me to say. There's two things I really believe. I believe that Tua's touchdowns will go up, and I believe Waddle's receptions will go down.
Yeah, those are probably both fair.
Yeah, those are two things I'm very confident in. Everything else is out the window because how many running backs are we going to keep? How many wide receivers are we going to keep? How many tight ends are we going to keep? Right? You know, and with those positions being intact, what do we have a balanced attack? I've said this earlier on the show, but I think it bears repeating. Are we going to be able to take a balanced running attack and convert that into Tua being more comfortable in the pocket and feeling better about making certain passes? So maybe I really don't know if his pass per games, his pass attempts go up. I actually think they stay very similar to what they've been, but I think his completion percentage, I mean, we start seeing some really, really high quarterback ratings in these games from him, because I think the one thing that has to go up more than anything is yards after catch. You have to have yards after catch, no matter if it's coming out of the backfield and catching or it's from the wide receiver room. Yak has to be bigger. It has to be.
And ball placement is going to help that a lot, improve ball placement. I want to say two things. So the first thing is quick. When you say Raheem Mozart, is that on purpose, or do you think that's how you say it? You say it like that on purpose or as a joke? Like I'm pretty sure it's Raheem Mostert.
Mozart. I'm sorry. No, I wasn't saying it as a joke. I said Mozart. I always say it's Mozart. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. You're ready to listen to classical music. I got you.
It's just funny to me. But and the second thing I wanted to say, so wait, hold on. What was I about to say? I was talking about. Hold on. Repeat what you just said. I forgot the second thing I was trying to say.
Well, I mean, basically, the point I'm making is I'm very optimistic about the future. I'm excited about it. I don't know what the offense looks like per se of how balanced the attack is. Go ahead.
So you're talking about how the passing game will help Tua, the run game will help Tua, and I believe so. And I think the main reason why is that if we have a strong run game, one of the main things that'll do is it'll force linebackers to come up. It'll suck them in closer to the line of scrimmage for sure. And then what's the main probably area that Tua struggles with passing? Not even deep. I think it's more so, TD says it nonstop, and it's true. It's behind the linebackers, under the safeties, that kind of intermediate zone where he either just doesn't throw it. How many times is Gesicki open, running through that middle area, throwing his hands up in the air? I'm open, doesn't get the ball.
Yep.
And maybe the windows will be if we have a good run game, those windows will be much bigger because the linebackers will be sucked down. You know what I mean? So it'll allow for more space in that middle area. So I think for sure, if we have a good run game, Sony Michel, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, a little bit of Gaskin, if those guys can get rolling, the O-line can get rolling, you're right. It's also going to, help that middle intermediate passing game and relieve some pressure off of Tua, knowing that, when I hand the ball off, we're going to get some yards. I don't have to get it all, on my own arm.
I think you bring up very, very great points. And you alluded to it a little bit ago. It's going to be ball placement for Tua. And if Tua can place the ball where it needs to be, I don't care if they're 2-yard slant passes. That's when the yards after catch are going to come in, right? So I think that one of the things, I've tried to break down in its simplest form this year when the question is asked of me, they're like, well, what does the offense look like as far as points per game? And what does yards per game look like, right? And I said, we had 20.1 points last year. And I think our offense goes up by a full touchdown. I think it goes up by 7 points. I really do. So I think we go to 27 points per game because these acquisitions that we have on this team, if it doesn't result to at least one more touchdown per game, it was that then again, we made the wrong decisions or something's not clicking or Tua's not the right guy or whatever the case is. It wasn't working the way it should. But it should result in at least one more touchdown per game.
I hope so.
I hope so too. And so with that being said, that puts us at 27 points per game. And I think when it comes down to it, I want to see them convert these 3rd and 3s, these 3rd and 5s, these 3rd and 7s that we saw a lot last year. Convert them into first downs. And that allows for time of possession to go into Miami's favor because now we're holding the ball longer. We're having longer drives. We're having bigger drives that are resulting in points. And that's a very important thing that I think we need to remember, that these 2-yard slant passes are not the deal. They're not the end all be all. It's yards after catch and converting third and mid, third and fives.
Okay.
I'll
ask one more question, then I'll get out of here. Let other people. I don't know if there's other people backstage.
There's not, man. This is all you. If they want to come on, they can come on, but nobody else is on. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Come on if you guys want to. And Vanjo actually has a question for you. Vanjo wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the Bills? If we do it week 1, and why? How would you feel about the Bills if we got them
week 1? I hope it's in Buffalo because the weather will still be fairly good. I hope it's not week 1 against the Bills at home. Because they're, in terms of continuity, they have mostly the same core. They'll be further along just by virtue of continuity. So to kind of get a home game out of the way right away, where we're at a huge disadvantage, would be kind of disheartening, I think. If we played them first week away, I see more benefits to that. But either way, I'd rather play them a little later, but not so late, especially the away game, because then you're going to get a snow game and cold game, and we've seen how our offense has kind of performed in those kind of cold games. So yeah, hopefully if we get them week 1, it's in Buffalo, but I'd rather have them around like the week 5 to 9 range.
See, I'm with you. And look, it to me, and I'll repeat what I said a little bit ago to you. All I want is to know that we're legit. And if we win in week 1, it's going to come back as, it was a surprise game. We were able to, surprise them with something they don't have any tape on or anything like that. We win in week 5, week 6, week 7 about them, then Miami's legit.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
But honestly, you saying that kind of brings me to another point I didn't think of where, we don't have continuity, but there's also no film on a Dolphins offense led by Tua with Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert. A lot of pieces are new. There's no tape on that. A lot of teams won't know what to expect. So there is some benefit of playing, better teams early if we have our ish together. You know what I mean? Like, if it takes us time to get rolling, then it's like, no, give us the scrubs at first. But if this team is ready to rock, obviously we can't control any of this. This is all just talking to talk. But if we could control it and we knew where they were, how far along they were, then we could kind of play with it that way. And being new and teams not knowing what you're going to do is definitely could be a competitive advantage.
Groomdog47 says, hey, Steven, the Bills are 7-1 against us the last few years. They've beaten us by a 19-point average. Are we good enough to close the point margin and beat them? I think we both alluded to it. I'm optimistic, right? I want to say that we are, but the reality is Buffalo is by far an elite team. They're really, really good. And have we done enough to play 4 quarters against them? I want to say yes, but that's the fan in me, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's hard for me to look at that particular question objectively and be like, okay, the Dolphins have done X, Y, and Z better, and here's how they match up against Buffalo. Because the reality is Buffalo at any point in time can drop 40 or 50 points on you.
Yeah.
They can.
Best case scenario, even if everything went well with our team, it's still a coin flip. And then worst case scenario, we're in the same position. We get swept. We look bad. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle where we'll be improved. I think as much as it kills me to say, we're not going to sweep them. Best case, we split probably. Obviously not best case, but best realistic case.
Let me argue with you on that. So let's say people are right and the Dolphins play Buffalo week 1 in Buffalo. And we beat them because there's no game film on us. We surprise them. And all of a sudden we get to play them come week 17 or week 18. Right? We're going to play them in Miami in December. I'm just saying that doesn't seem like a bad opportunity for us to sweep Buffalo. So I'm not going to say that we can't sweep Buffalo. I think a lot of things have to go our way.
Yeah.
I think if we play in Buffalo week 1, we beat them, we have a chance to sweep them. If Buffalo ends up being stuck in the middle of the year or, not first week, I think we split.
if you ask an odds maker right now, what are the odds Miami sweeps Buffalo? It's not going to be.
It's not going to be good.
I mean, if you were as confident as you'd say, you'd be smashing that money line because of what the odds would be, because it wouldn't be favorable for us. You know what I
No,
mean?
not at all.
Like plus, 700-800, probably something like that. Like very unlikely, but definitely it's always possible. Anything can happen. The Jets beat some really good teams last year, so or the Jags. Maybe I'm thinking of they beat the Bills, right? So.
Jags beat the Bills. That was a surprise game. I think it was. I think they did, and
it was like 6-9 or 9-6. Sorry.
Yeah. I want to say it was in the Jets game that the weekend that happened. That was the MetLife takeover that week.
One thing I want to bring to you. Think about this past season. I'm trying to think about last year and the year before, if it's been the same. But think about how the games have gone against Buffalo every time we've played them. Like last year, the first time we played them last year, I believe we lost like 31-0. I want to say, but at halftime it was much less than that. And then the second time we played them in Buffalo, I believe we picked them off on the first or second drive, Josh Allen, and it was maybe 7-0 or 10-7 or something like that at halftime. We're always in the game about halfway through. Our defense always seems to have Josh Allen figured out first half. We're playing man, we're blitzing and we're containing him. And then I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'll get your take on it, but my take is that, and this isn't just exclusive to Buffalo, but we're talking about Buffalo. So when we play these high-powered teams like Buffalo, KC, these powerhouses on offense, and we hold them for 1, 2, 3 quarters, we're giving extra possessions. We picked off Josh Allen, like I was just saying. And then you look at the scoreboard, and it's super tight. We have 0 points. We have 7 points. We have 10 points. Do you think that that's disheartening to the defense and contributes to games like that are 10-7 ending, or sorry, that are like 7-0 at halftime, ending up 31-0? Or do you think that's just the defense has no bearing on that, and they would have gotten beat that much in the second half anyway?
No, very unique take on it, number one. But my answer to that is I think let's take into account the Tennessee game, right? Let's go to the Tennessee game. I think that the Tampa game. The Tampa game is a good example. That's a better example. Let's go to the Tampa Bay game.
Third quarter.
We were in that game up until late in the third quarter. We were going tick for tack. We were playing, but the defense was getting tired because the offense could not stay converted on that. They couldn't convert. They couldn't keep drives going, right? And so by that take, I think that eventually you give Tom Brady enough chances, or you give any offense, just like you said, any high-powered offense, enough chances, they're going to find a way to dissect you. They're going to find a way to do what they need to do to win. And the moment they start tearing one thing down off that wall, the rest of it's going to crumble. And so I think those are prime examples, the Tampa and even the Tennessee game, that you look at and you're like, you know what? The Dolphins were in that game in Tampa up until late in the third quarter. The defense was doing what they were needed to do. The offense just could not make it work. And because of that, I think eventually the defense just got tired or started to make a mistake or two because they were they were tired. They were on the field a lot. And it brings the rest of everything down. So, I guess I agree with you to a certain extent. I think that the defense needs to be able to rely on the offense, which is part of the reason I think this is going to work great this year in Miami, because I'm excited to see that. I think this offense, not only do I think it allows this offense to be on the field longer. All these personnel people.
You have the run game, right?
Yep. And so you start converting first downs. It's about converting first downs. And if you can convert first downs, you can stay on the field longer and makes your defense less tired. You get into these fourth quarter games, you're going to be able to have a chance to win it, And then you have playmakers like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert, and see, like what I did there, Raheem Mostert, and
a little mix of the two.
Yep, and there you go. Now all of a sudden you have that one play in the fourth quarter, and now you're up and you're good. So yeah, man. Well, look, man. Look, any final thoughts? I appreciate you coming on and chatting with me this morning. Where do you work at? Where are you at? Where do you live?
I live in Canada. I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, the capital of Canada. A lot of people think it's Toronto. It's actually Ottawa. We're a slightly smaller city, but we're the capital still. And I work in the government with Public Service and Procurement Canada. It's actually my last week. I got a promotion. I start next week with Financial Consumer Agency of Canada. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. And you're a Dolphins fan. You have a podcast?
I used to. Well, I mean, it still exists, but I haven't posted on it probably since
in a long time. Okay.
Work's been as
taking over, man. Got to pay the bills.
So, I got the house in late 2021. First house with my girlfriend. So priorities sort of changed.
I'm proud of you.
So I mean, one day I'd love to pick it back up and do that, but for now it's definitely on the back burner. But it's still my YouTube account, so I guess
look,
it's still how I get recognized.
I love having you on. I see you up here all the time. Thank you for watching. It means a lot to me that you watch the show. I hope that you stay watching for a very, very long time and come back up here, man. I love talking to you.
One last question before I
go ahead.
To work. Are you concerned at all that even if our offense is, as advertised, McDaniel's an offensive genius, this and that, are you concerned that we may have a struggle to score quickly, and that will be more of a methodical offense, whereas some teams like KC, Buffalo, they could get it in 1-2 plays, whereas we may struggle to be that kind of 1-2 play offense? Or do you think we won't have that kind of issue? What do you think about that?
Well, I go back to the Vegas Chargers game in Week 18 last year. I go back to the Bills Chiefs game in the playoffs last year. And what I'll say is you need to keep up with some of these AFC teams. You need to be able to score in 30 seconds or in 40 seconds or in 1 or 2 plays. Do we have the weapons to do that? Yes. But that's going to come into a big thing. That's where Tua and the argument for Tua can be, okay, we need you to do something that you're not used to doing, and you need to be able to win this game in 45 seconds, right? If we get into a shootout with Buffalo, let's take that for example.
Yep.
Are we going to be able to score in 30 or 45 seconds? Here's a reality. Tua's done it in college.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but he hasn't done it in the pros. And that's what, that's where the argument, that's where I can deal with an argument with Tua, right? That's in the wheelhouse of somebody where I can have a respectable debate or conversation with somebody that's a Tua-neer or just a Dolphins fan to be like, all right, well, this is what scares me about Tua. If we get into these shootout games, is he going to be able to hold his own? The answer to the question, I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows.
And I think we're going to find out this year. We're going to find out. But the answer is I don't know. But do we have the weapons to do it? Of course we do. 100%. But we'll have to see how that goes. All right, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I enjoyed it, man. Be good.
All right, you too, Steven.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, Clock Blockers. I am your host, Stephen D. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button, share the link, and donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. If you guys want to ask a question, you guys can use the super chat, ask a question, and I'll bring it on while we're talking here. Let me bring on the next person here, my man Rashad. What's up, Rashad?
Happening.
What's going on, buddy? How are you today?
Not much at work, just tuning in, listening. Had a revelation last night, or yesterday, I should say.
Okay. What was that?
I'm here to announce that I am officially a Tua-neer.
You're what?
Yeah, I'm saying it now.
Rashad Brown is a Tua-neer. So Rashad, you know what that means? People are going to say you're not a Dolphins fan. That you're a Tua-neer.
No. No, we're not doing that. I'm a Tua-neer for a year. That's what it is for now.
Okay. I was about to say, people are going to call you out, Rashad. They're going to be like, Rashad's not even a true Dolphins fan. He's a Tua-neer.
Oh, I know how it goes. I'm here for it. I'm prepared.
So
I don't have the.
how did you come to this revelation, sir? How did you become that you're a 2-year now?
So we go back and forth. We listen to all the Tua hate. I don't hear enough Tua positive things. I would say so. I sit there. I was off yesterday. I just watched a bunch of tape. I watched highlights. What we're not supposed to do, of course. But in these highlights, I'm looking for the bad. I see the bad blocking and him buying time. I see him throwing in bracket coverages, and our receivers can't do anything. But who else is he going to hit? And I'm seeing him force the ball out quickly. And then I go back to the Bama days where he has the time, where he is reading the field. I forget which clip it was, but it was Bama versus LSU.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Real quick. Breaking news. Miami Heat Kyle Lowry has been ruled out for tonight's game with a hamstring injury. Oh, that sucks.
I hate
Miami
Philly.
Heat guard Kyle Lowry's been ruled out for Game 5 tonight with a hamstring injury. That's not good.
It's not good at all. You're all good. I just don't want to see Philly go to the finals. I don't want them to win it all. I have a couple of Philly friends that's been nagging me all season.
Oh man.
But yeah, with all this Tua highlight tapes I was watching yesterday, and all the offseason moves and the offensive mind of Mike McDaniel, I see a tremendous year for Tua, his offense and his defense. We finally got that veteran leadership on the offensive side of the ball that we need, and I'm here for it. I'm all in.
I appreciate you coming up here and opening up yourself, and making this announcement to the world that you are now a 2-year. What I will ask of you is, what do you think the Dolphins need to do to support Tua to allow him to be the best Tua he can be? Or have they already done that? Or have they already done that?
I mean, they've done a lot. I mean, one thing to put the icing on the cake is something you've been screaming for a while. We got to go get J.C. Tretter. We have to.
I love him.
We got the veteran leadership on the offensive line, but that center that calls out the blitzers, that was part of one of, if not the best rushing attack for the last 2-3 years, we need that to support, to hold down. He's the anchor. The center is the anchor of the offense in my eyes. So if we can get J.C. Tretter, a veteran Pro Bowler who knows what he's doing, we'll be set. That's the type of player that Tua needs. Someone, when Tua can't see the blitzer, he can call it out for him. Or, like, we all remember when Gesicki had to call it out and, like, motion everybody. It was embarrassing, honestly. Like, if we got somebody who can actually do it and supposed to do it, besides Tua, if Tua misses it, I feel like that'll take us to another level. I see us as a top 5 offense next year. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, man. Look, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. All right, Rashad. I got somebody who I got beef with that I got to squash this beef that's in the back room. If you want to come back on afterwards, but I need to handle this with this man right now. We got to go at it. All right.
Do your thing.
All right, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Love you too.
Steven, why you say we have beef, man? I love you, man. So how can we have beef?
Dog, you over here getting on me today. I thought you was my boy, but you know what? You over here you all up in the chat getting me, like, you put me on blast in the chat.
As a good friend, I got to hold you accountable.
So as my wife says, true friends stab you in the front. That's what that is. True friends stab you in the front.
Nothing but love, man. Nothing but love. How we doing?
I'm doing okay. Mickey Arison, the owner of the Heat, just said huge game tonight, and Heat Nation needs to be early 7:32 tip-off. I just asked him on Twitter if he could fly me out from Beatmore from the game. I don't think he's gonna do it.
But yo, Steven, I actually had a question. I asked a question to chat. Like, how do you feel about that? No Lowry. They got Embiid back. Who do you say?
I'm scared. I feel like we need everything to beat Philly, man.
Don't be scared.
I feel like we need everything. I am. I'm not lying to you. I'm ready. I'm gonna be there 7:32 tip off tonight in front of my TV, ready to go.
I was talking to the Fanaticals on their show, and GOT got on my case about it. Yeah,
the Fanaticals, is that what they're called?
No, that's not their actual name.
The Miami Sports Fanatics. But I like the Fanaticals. Is somebody calling you?
I like Fanaticals too. Yeah, I just ignored. But I told him that, hey, without Embiid, it's not really a series. And Embiid came back, and all of a sudden Philly won 2 games convincingly. All of a sudden, Bam Adebayo wasn't Bam. He was just like, yeah. It was no Bam there. It was like, man. It was just a Adebayo. There's no Bam there. And I keep saying that team is Embiid driven.
I think in order for the Heat to win, okay, in order for them to win, what they have to do is they have to be perfect. And that's the problem with the Heat, right? When you're playing against somebody like Joel Embiid. You have to have everything go right for you. Game 4, they had everything go right except they couldn't hit the threes. But everything else went right for them. Right?
I mean, I think Butler had a game. Butler had a game. He was in his bag.
No, he wasn't. So,
Jimmy Butler, the last game they played?
What I'm saying is, like, in order to be a healthy, like, if Harden is going to do what he did again in the fourth quarter, with Embiid doing what he did, come on now. Like, you gotta
hold on for the ride.
You do, and hope that you're there at the end of it. And my problem with the Heat on Game 4 was they kept on taking unnecessary threes.
They live and die by, and that's a very bad thing to do. To count on Hero and what's the other guy?
Unless you have Steph Curry, it's unnecessary. And not needed.
That guy, he takes threes, and it's actually bad shots are good shots for him. But who's the other guy?
Steph Curry is the only guy in the NBA that if he missed 15 threes, you'd still be like, "Are you going to go ahead, shoot that 63 because it's going to go in eventually."
So, Steven, this is what I always say. They say that Miami Heat got great depth. They have great role players, and I always say it's easy for great role players to look good when it's an easy game, right? When there's no pressure, they could just shoot threes. They're leading, and it's an easy flow. But when it's tight games, they're role players for a reason. They're role players for a reason. They can't step up. They're not going to step up, right? It's rare that they'll step up, but they're role players for a reason. Just facts. They're not superstars for a reason.
Look, Tyler Herro's going to have to be big tonight, too. Zizou just said that. Zizou's right. Herro's going to –
he's got to be – I think it's not even Hero. I think Oladipo is going to have to be that guy.
See, Oladipo, he doesn't have to have a big game. He just has to have minutes on the floor.
Without Lowry, I think he has to have that game.
He doesn't have to have the stats. He doesn't. He just needs to put in the minutes.
Okay.
Draw some attention. Just don't lose us the game, and you're fine.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll take that one.
Bam has to have a big game. Herro has to have a big game. And obviously, Butler. But those 3 have big games. We're good. You don't need Oladipo. You need Oladipo to not lose you the game.
And I know I haven't talked Dolphins, but just to pivot a little more, that F1 down in Miami, how much money did Ross make? Because I know those tickets were expensive.
So they were packed. They said he did not make a lot this year, and I could see why. There was a lot of money put into it, right? And I'm sure you had to. It looked like every celebrity and their brother was there, all with.
It's more of recovering the money this year.
Yeah, I'm sure that he wanted to put it on the map. I've heard some people, from what it says, sounds like whatchamacallit, that people didn't like it who went there, but I talked to people that were there and they said it was amazing. So I
have
don't know people that were there. I know 2 or 3 people that were there, and they were like, it was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen.
All right. So one of my brothers, one of my friends, but he's I call him one brother. He's a godfather to my son, right? His wife is a marketing person, like she's a big promoting marketing person, and I guess she got free access there. So they were out there. He was out there with his son, his wife on Mother's Day. They were all out there. Was it Mother's Day? No, it wasn't Mother's Day.
Yeah, it was Mother's Day. It was.
It was Mother's Day, right? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. I just want to make sure I wasn't tripping. Yeah, so they were out there, but I haven't really gotten a chance to really talk to them. But from what I saw, it looked like they had a blast.
Yeah, everything I've seen for the most part, or people that I've talked to, or people that I know that have went, they had a great time. But I have read that some people, like some of the media stuff, were like, oh, I don't know, compared to other I think the F1 fanatical fans, like people that have been to F1 races, might have been like, all right, this is a little crazy now. But I think,
but you know, Miami's a party first.
I know, and that's what it's about. So I'm not worried.
So you know, Miami's always going to be a party first, because you know people that don't even follow F1, they're going to go down there just to party in Miami.
Yeah, 100%.
Welcome to the Nah, Shake Money, not at all. Shake Money needs to come back up here to let me know what he thinks about the Bills in Week 1. Everybody knows how I feel about the Bills in Week 1. I don't want it.
Triple S Podcast just sent me $7 Canadian. $7 Canadian. My guy, Triple S.
Actually, is their money worth more than the US dollar? Does it carry more weight or less?
I don't know. We should find out though. Let's find out. Canadian dollars.
What's the conversion rate? Was it 1-to-1?
US dollars. All right, for every it's for actually, so their dollar's worth more than our dollar.
Then the US. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. Shout out to the Triple S Podcast.
Shout out to you, my guy. You're the real winner today.
Shoot, how many? Wait, what's the amount? Is that how many?
So for every $1 Canadian, it's 77 cents to US dollar.
So is that enough for him to get a couple spaces in the giveaway?
To get 2 spots, I'll do it anyway. You'll get 2 spots, Triple S, just for that.
There it is.
You'll get 2 spots in there just for that.
There it is. But
he asked, what percentage of Tua haters do you think are just Dolphin fans being critical of most important player of the team so it can be his best? I'll let you answer that.
What percentage of that? To tell you, here's the thing. I don't think there's not a big percentage of actual Tua haters. I think, like, for example, the Tua haters, I'll give it a 7%, right? Just to be nice. Just to be fair to say, I'll say 7% is Tua haters, but I think people that are critiquing Tua, that are legit Dolphin fans, that just want better from their quarterback and just critique him, gets lumped in together with the Tua haters, and vice versa. You have I'll say 10% or 15% of Tua or Tua lovers that Tua can't do any wrong, and if people speak on his highlights, they get lumped in as, oh, you're not a Dolphin fan, you're just a Tua lover, right?
Hey, yeah, no, I agree with you. Hey, real quick, stay on with me because Shake Money just wants to come on for a minute, and I want to talk to you about a couple more things. Shake Money, what's up, Shake?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? What's up?
What's good, Shake?
Not much. Hey, I was gonna say, every time I don't know if you read that comment. Every time I see you, I always think of that dude from Spawn.
Who, me or Von Joe? He looks like Michael. What's his name? Who's the guy who plays Spawn? Guys, help me out.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
In the chat. Yeah, Michael. He's the fighter guy.
I vaguely.
If they say his name, I'll know exactly.
I think I know who you're talking about, though.
Oh man! All right, hold on. Spawn.
But anyway,
of course they will start hammering. They'll start hammering when I get here.
It is.
But no,
Michael J. White. Michael J. White.
Yes, I would like.
He looked like Michael J. White. Here, matter of fact, hold up. Let me pull this man up. Let me pull a picture of this man up.
Why he's doing that, Shake? How you feel about Bills in Week 1, and why?
Actually, if we do play them, I want them at home because here's the thing. Stephen D, do you agree that we might be our chances of being a wild card are high, right?
Yeah.
So here's what it is: if we play Buffalo in December in the snow, we have to get used to that snow, because if we are a wild card, chances are we got to go to one of those teams that play in the snow for the playoffs. So we need to start getting used to that cold weather already. You know what I mean? Because if we want to make a strong playoff push and we're in the wild card, we have to go to a snow team.
All right, hold on. Now, come on, man. Put it up. Get your hand down. Bro, you look like him, son. You look just like him. My guy. Hold up. Let me make this bigger. Hold up. These stupid ads. Get out of the way, ads. All right, hold on. Let me make it smaller. All right, here we go. There we go. Come on, bro. Somebody needs to screenshot that. I'm just saying, bro. Looks just like him. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I lost a little bit there. That was funny.
All right, so Steven, I blame Shake for this. That Twitter's about to go crazy
All
with
right,
that
thanks,
one.
man. I'm out of here.
All right, Shake. I love you, bro. Be good, man.
Shake makes a good point. Shake makes a good point there, Steven. If the thing is, if we go to Buffalo, if we handle them early and all in warm weather climate, just to go play them as a wild card, or play any of these wild card teams in the cold, and one and done, are we satisfied? If we get another Jacksonville performance in week one in the playoffs?
No, probably not. By the way, people are
everybody. That's a better question.
Real quick, people are clowning us. We're getting clowned. It's $1 Canadian worth 77 cents.
Oh, okay.
So we were doing it back. I'll still give you 2 for what it is, Triple S, because I already said it. But we were thinking the other way around. Oh man, we're rich. No, that's not it. We were wrong.
So
we were so wrong.
That's a better question. If here's a question for everybody that are Dolphin fans, that if we make the playoffs and we in our wild card game, our week 1 game looks like that Jacksonville game where it's one and done and it was a blowout, are we satisfied with that? That we just made the playoffs?
No, because I don't just want to make the playoffs. I think we need to make the playoffs and win a playoff game. I think that is a successful year. You have to win. You have to make the playoffs and win a playoff game for this to be a successful season. By the way, your
you at
nickname
least
now
want to
is
get into the second round. Von Swan. Oh God.
Von Joe is a much better actor, David and Natasha said.
I would completely disagree with that. But
get some of that Michael J. White money, son.
Listen. I give actors I give their props and into their craft, what they put into it.
Michael J. White
dive into that role. Yeah, to really dive into their role and what the work that they put forth to really encompass that mindset and be that person that they're playing. I give them props. I can't do it.
Hey, I have a big announcement to make for this afternoon. You ready?
Is it for the giveaway?
No, it has nothing to do for the giveaway. It has to do with
I need to know what we're giving away, Steven. I need to know.
It's an autographed mini helmet. That's all I know at the moment. Here, let me look. I do have a text.
Listen, mini helmets are great for man caves. They don't take up a lot of space, and I mean, you could put them anywhere almost, right? So mini helmets are great for man caves.
I am going to be on the very first episode of the Smoke Show with Nikki Smokes this afternoon on his YouTube channel. Live at 2.
Okay. Is that today?
That is today at 2 p.m. He's never done it before, so bear with him. The link is in the chat for Nikki's channel. Go subscribe to Nick's channel, The Smoke Show. He's got 210
Wait, hold on.
So let's get him another.
Hold on. Listen, we always complain. So we have Miss Finn's. So today we have Miss Finn's covering the early morning, right?
Yep.
We have you carrying us into the afternoon.
Yeah.
Now we have an afternoon show.
Well, you already had Dono Daily.
For today.
Let me just throw that out there. You always have Dono Daily in the afternoons.
Okay.
Because I love Alex. Alex is usually on at like 3, though, I think. So you get the smoke show from 2 to 3, and then Alex from 3 to 4.
Okay. I'm all for that. And then we have our evening lineups.
You got the evening lineups. You got Reason, TD, Dudley. I'm just saying.
And all for the Fanaticals, you know where to see it there, as well as
the Miami Sports Fanatics show.
Late night show.
You got the
with the Fanaticals.
Tailgate.
You got the tailgate that's late night. It's so hard. It's so hard for me to catch those guys.
You realize nowadays you get like 24 hours just of coverage, real quick. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And
hey,
this is why I always say, hey, support. Imagine if YouTube, hold on. If YouTube could go ahead and just have that, like you keep saying, just to have that, hire all you guys just to do this Dolphin news all day.
I'm just
the Dolphin channel, and it's you guys.
Well, I mean, look, that my ultimate goal is to have a 24/7 podcast network. That is my ultimate goal.
Listen, if YouTube is listening, I just gave you guys a wonderful idea. You already have the shows, you already have the commentators, they already have the format. It's just really plug and play YouTube, right? And just create a channel. It'll be all Dolphins. You already have the commentators. You don't even have to hire some of these fake national people that pretend that they know our team. If YouTube was smart. But I'm gonna go ahead and Batman said they're gonna be on at 6:15. There you go.
Yeah. No, stay on, bro. I don't care about the banging in the background. Stay on. I like you co-hosting with me. I think people like it too.
I know, but brother, I gotta get to work. They changed my work schedule, so I gotta get back to work.
You over there without a shirt? What are you talking about, man? You over there looking at yourself?
Exactly.
You're probably kissing yourself in the mirror, like, oh my god!
Thank God
look
for
at this
work
guy.
at home.
Oh my god, I look so
Listen,
good in my tank top.
If COVID benefited me with one thing, it's me working at home and work at home life.
All right, Michael J. White, I got you. That still is great. I hope somebody screenshots that and post and blast that crap all over Twitter and tags me and you in it. That'd be
OMG. I cannot. I can't deal.
Every second of that.
All right, but I'm still gonna be listening. I'm still gonna be on you on the chats. But remember, I love you, Steven.
I love you. I love you
that
more.
you do.
Hey, you know what people can do? Hey,
Right,
can you tell people? Can you tell people what they can do before you go? What can they do? What can they do?
They already know what to do. They need to support the channel.
They're not doing it though.
Guys, donate. I mean, hey, we don't even have a swear jar to help donate. I think Steven actually swear jarred himself twice. That was my fault.
I know.
My bad.
Nobody paid my $2 swear jar.
Steven, I'm gonna take care of your swear jar since it was my fault.
The $2. You got $2.
Right.
I got you.
I'm gonna take care of your swear jar.
Chaos.
And guys, donate, support the channel, support our community, help it grow. Right? Where else you gonna get great Dolphin coverage? And actually, today we actually covered Dolphins, we covered the Panthers, we covered the Miami Heat, and F1. I mean, we covered everything Miami.
We got everything today, bro. Come on, man. This is not getting coverage like this.
Where else are you gonna get that? Where else are you gonna get that? ESPN
All
would have moved on to something else like, I don't know, synchronized swimming by now.
Actually, you know what I've been watching? What is it? Cornhole. They've been playing a lot of cornhole on ESPN, and I've been watching cornhole. And those guys are legit crazy.
That's the sad thing. They cornhole will get more coverage on ESPN than the Miami Dolphins. So guys, support our guys, support our community. Hey man, fins up. And listen, if you don't donate, at least share it so you could build subscribers. All right.
But you know, if all 80 plus people donated $1 right now, Vonjo, that would be $80 to the channel.
So
you know
everybody there, all they have to do is donate $1. That's 10 dimes, 100 pennies, 20 nickels, 4 quarters, 2 50-cent pieces, or just a whole dollar. You choose how you want to break it up, guys. Let's support. Let's make it happen. All right, Steven, like I said, I'm going to cover your swear jar right now. You got it?
$2. $2.
I got you.
All right, man. Love you, brother. Be good, man.
All right.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock blockers. We're gonna stay up here for just a little bit longer. If you want to get on if you want to get in where you fit in, go ahead, and the link is at the top of the stream. And I'm just going to take one or two more people real quick. I'm not going to stay on too much longer. Tony, what's up, Tony? How are you, bud?
Hey, Steven, how are you? Sorry I missed your show earlier.
You're all right, man.
I was walking my Frenchie.
Hey, man, you got to walk that dog, dude. Make sure they go to the bathroom. I get it.
Yeah, for me, I would rather have all our division games early in the season, and then have our non-division and non-conference games at the end of the season. What cold weather teams do we face this year, by chance? Do you know, besides the Bills, the Patriots, and the Jets?
Well, number one, you're breaking up really, really bad. So
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hold on. Dolphins schedule 2022. All right. To answer your question, I think that we play the Cincinnati's a cold weather game. Chicago's a cold weather game.
Detroit.
No, Detroit's indoors.
Okay.
New England.
Do we face the Packers?
New England, New York, and Buffalo, but it depends on what time of year that those games get in. So I don't know. No, we play the Packers in Miami.
I kind of wish we pay. For me, as a Dolphins fan, I would have rather had faced the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. Hey, man, you're breaking up real bad. Go ahead and ask one more question before I let you go, Tony.
Oh, but like I said, I would rather have all our division games early in the season to get our division out of the way. So.
No, I got you on that. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Bye, Steven.
All right, Tony. Whew. I want to talk to you, man, but it was breaking up real bad. My ear was hurting. Sorry, bud. If anybody else wants to come on a little bit longer, I'll leave it on. I do want to remind you guys, there's 4 different ways you can donate to the channel. You use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ down at the bottom of the chat. You guys can also use PayPal or Cash App, which in the chat, I just put in the links to PayPal and Cash App. And if you're rewatching right now and you're not watching live, you guys can use the YouTube Super Thanks, which is the heart and the $. And if you go back and look at any video today, you can donate that way. All right. I asked that you donate that way because I want to see how it works. If anybody wants to donate there, would love to see it. All right. Let's see here. Let me bring on my man, Pete. What's up, Pete?
Steven, how's
What's
everybody?
up, Pete?
Fins Nation, what's up, buddy? I don't got that much time, but I got to unleash.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
You know I'm a Tua hater, right? That guy's holding us back.
I don't.
Nobody down there in the chat knows.
I don't agree with you, but again, I let anybody come on my channel, so the floor is yours, Pete.
Let me ask you a question, Steven. This is for you. Does Stephen Ross and Tom Brady have a restraining order against each other?
Not that I'm aware of, Pete.
All right. So they were there together, F1 on Mother's Day on Sunday.
Okay.
Pretty sure they had a little conversation to clean up some things that, were left behind out of that yacht. You don't think something had to be discussed there? They had to get together, something. It was a secret in the ear, at least, a whisper.
That's neither here or there because if you go look at it, the report came out this morning that Brady's going to be on Fox after his career's over and be the color analyst for Fox, which will be interesting.
That's how they're going to clean it up. That's how they cleaned it up. That's what I'm saying. You see how they cleaned it up? It was a good cleanup. The guys with power, Brady's a good cleaner. But listen, Sony Michel. Do you guys notice what the Dolphins are doing to us? The Dolphins and Stephen Ross, he's a smart business guy. He knows that this stadium is not going to get filled up with normal fans.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps paying local homegrown players for a reason. He's doing anything in his power to fill this team up and this stadium up. He's paying Teddy Bridgewater, local. Last year, Jacoby. He paid Mark Walton. He's paying all these local homegrown guys at the end of their career to build up some fan base or something, because what's going on is not working out. We got another running back.
So I take it you don't like the Sony Michel acquisition last night.
I can't stand that move. What is that guy gonna give us? He's not a starter. He got his position took in New England by an undrafted running back. That would be like Myles Gaskin or Salvin Ahmed taking his position. And I hear you guys all proud and praising it like that's the move that's gonna take us to the top.
I never said that it was going to take us to the top. I said it gave us depth where depth was needed.
It's a complete disaster what's going down in our team, and I can't believe you guys don't see it.
The man had how many? He had 840 plus yards from scrimmage last year on a team that went to the Super Bowl and won it. I think that's pretty good. Pete.
You said that? Say that one more time.
He had 840 yards from scrimmage on a team that went to the Super Bowl and won it. He was a big factor.
In what part of his career?
Last year.
Was that the team that drafted that guy?
No,
he was
that
a
was
first
the
round
Patriots.
draft pick.
It doesn't, bro. First of all, Bill Belichick will get rid of you if you sneeze wrong. Okay,
bro. Sony Michel is probably another body. It's not a good signing. You're better off with a young descendant running back. You're better off getting a young guy that's willing to play his heart out for your team and give it all he can.
What do you mean Sony's not?
Roster.
Sony's got Sony. If Sony was such a bad running back, he wouldn't have 2 Super Bowl rings.
He didn't do anything to contribute to this. He was just part of the team. This is what I'm saying. Listen, this is not Sony Michel hate. This is about making the Dolphins great. And Sony Michel is not going to make the Dolphins great. He's not even a starter material. He's not even starting material. You're better off getting a free agent, a young undrafted free agent running back with more speed.
Bro,
this is speed. We
don't
need this guy.
Number one, we have running back by committee here. Running back by committee is how it'll work, right? And at the end of the day, I'm looking something up so you can see something.
No, that's another thing. He's been a running back by committee his entire career, and he's a first-round draft pick. That's not good, bro. We need a real deal running back, and we don't have one on the roster. Nobody you name on our roster is a real deal running back. I'm sorry to tell you. It's a disaster what we're building. It keeps getting scarier and scarier, and all you guys want to do it. Pete's trolling. No, Pete's worried. Pete's depressed. Pete's mad that this team is not doing the right thing to win. And you go, Tua's 13-8 in his career. Pete, shut up. I don't want to hear that.
The man played a big part last year in their season. I mean, he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl, but that's because they were playing Cincinnati and you were airing it out. And that's why. But aside from the team, he had 840 plus yards from scrimmage last year. He was a big part of he wasn't a big part, but he was a small part of their success. And I think he'll do the same thing here. I don't think he'll be a big part of our success, but I think he'll be somebody great for the locker room. It'll be great for that backfield. And he complements Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert very, very well.
Did you see that running back, Steven? This is what I'm talking about, the attitude here in this fan base. I mean, on this team, not the fan base. Think about this. We got a rookie, and what team was that? He's over here saying, a third-round rookie saying, I'm going over there to start. I think it's Seattle. He wants to be the starter. We got Sony Michel. Oh, yeah, I'm happy to be a complimentary running back. No, we need dogs over here, Steven. We need dogs. We don't need these nice guys, man. This is a sport, man. This is a physical sport. We need guys that are going to come out here, Steven, and be like, yo.
Pete, why are you so mad at everything? Why are you so mad at everything we do, Pete? Bond 954 wants to know.
Because nothing we do is the right move. This is like bad investments. Imagine your partner's telling you, invest in this, is going to work out. And you keep investing in that, and it's not working out. Are you going to be happy with that guy? No, you're going to be mad. It's all lies, and it's not working out. So that's what's going on. All of these moves that we're doing, they're not going to work out. It keeps putting us behind the ball.
Let me ask you, Pete, if we start out 5-1, 6-1, are you going to be very optimistic? Is your perception going to change then?
If I'm not going to say we're not, because there is a chance that we can start 5-1, 5-0.
I'm just saying,
there is really a chance.
what I want you to do is, if we do, will your perception change then?
It all depends. Remember, all of this comes back to the quarterback. I don't want to hear anything else. If we're winning due to the quarterback, Steven, we're good. If we're not winning due to the quarterback, we're done. The season is over. No matter even if we're 5-0, I promise you, we could start 5-0, and we won all of those games because of Sony Michel proving me wrong, getting 150 yards a game rushing. Tua's not it. We're not winning anything. That type of play won't sustain down the season. Too much film on that.
Pete, I think we just need to make you the GM, so that way, if it fails, we can just yell at you the way you yell at everybody else. I'm telling you,
that's what's gonna have to. That's the only way I honestly believe my team is gonna be something big, and I have hope. If they hired the ball boy, the sideline guy, next year I'm projected to have plenty of free time, and I'm gonna be signing up for all of those things. I'm gonna be the next general manager. Stephen Ross, don't play with me, bro. I'm gonna build this because I can't take this anymore. Starts with the quarterback.
All right, Pete, your final thought, man, before I let you go.
My final thoughts. I hope I gave the entire fan base entertainment this morning, and have a blessed day, man. Fins up, no matter what. We're going to the Super Bowl. Have a good one.
Pete, I love you, bro. Be good, man. I do love Pete. Pete needs to know I love him. GG, what's up, man? GG, you there? I see you in the back room. GG.
What's up with you, buddy?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I know y'all not making the playoffs this year, right?
Oh, man, we got a hater up here. We got a hater. Is this a hater, GG? Don't hate.
Man,
Don't do that.
I'm a Dolphins fan second.
Who's your first
y'all
team?
Making all the wrong moves.
Who's your first team? You're breaking up, GG, man. You're breaking up, bro. You're breaking up, bro. GG, you're breaking up. I want to talk to you. I want to talk trash with you, man. I can't hear you, bro. I wanted to. GG, I didn't kick you off. I couldn't hear you. You were breaking in and out. If you go back and listen to it, you'll see it. That's what it was. But I would love to chop it up with you. Come back on, bro. Concrete Slick. What's up, Concrete Slick?
What's up, Steven?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Loving your show. Appreciate what you do.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to answer that question about what we should do for the first game.
Yeah.
If I believe, me personally, being an ex-football player, playing for Pop Warner High School, little college, hit him in the mouth.
Hit him in the mouth.
Hit him in the mouth. Why wait? Hit them in the mouth first, and then so they don't know what to expect, so they have to build up on it.
Let me ask you my philosophy of, the rest of the NFL or even the fan base or whoever are going to be like, well, we got to surprise them. That's why we beat Buffalo week 1. But if you play them later on in the year, don't you think that gives us a better, clear indication of where we truly stand? Not only with the Bills, but with the rest of the NFL.
Well, I agree with that because I was just about to say it's all about who you're beating after that as well.
Yeah.
So you can hit Buffalo, and you can hit Buffalo in the mouth first, but you got to hit every team in the mouth. That's a good team in the mouth after that. So I mean, it's going to be a challenge no matter what because they don't know what to expect. And sometimes when you don't know what to expect or how things are going to run, that's the best time to hit them.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. I think I agree with that to a certain extent, right? Like I think that we lost 2 years ago to New England, to that Cam Newton Patriots team because we didn't know how to game plan for Cam Newton with New England. But if you go back and look at every game after that, people knew how to attack Cam Newton in New England.
Right.
And so it wasn't the same team anymore after that. So I think Level 2 Noob said, just admit you're scared. I'm not scared. I get what it is. I don't think it gives us any clear indication of who we are if we beat Buffalo week 1. It'll be great. It'll be great, but it doesn't tell us who we are.
But that's why I said you got to hit every good team in the mouth after that. Because if you beat Buffalo, you're not really putting the league on notice. It's going to be more like, okay, we see you beat Buffalo. Now let's see you do it with another team, and let's see if you could beat Buffalo again.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing too. We have a hard schedule, right? We got a tough schedule. We travel, I think, the third most miles in the NFL this year, right? We play a lot of good teams. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow. We face a lot of good teams this year, and they're not all cakewalks. So I'm
not saying they're cakewalks, but I think my opinion, McDaniels is revamping his whole team, and it's under our eyes. For example, you brought Tyreek in, right? Well, Davante, there's always got to be an odd man out. There's always got to be an odd man out. Out, for example, the running back room. You signed Mostert, you signed Edmonds, you just signed Michel, right? Yeah. So you already have backs on the roster. Who's the odd man out and who's playing special teams? That goes for wide receiver too.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Bon Joe says, Steven, I think everyone that comes up needs to answer that question. Do you like the Bills week 1? Why or why not? Yeah, I mean, look, I think I'm excited to see the schedule because I think the schedule is going to have a lot to do with our success or failure this year on how we go about it. Where's our bye week going to be, right? That's going to be a big thing. Where when we travel to the West Coast, are we traveling in the West Coast later on in the year? Is it before a bye week, after a bye week? Are we having to make 2 separate trips? All of these things play into account to the Dolphins' success. I say there's another positive besides the surprise factor for Buffalo week 1. If we play at Buffalo week 1, guess what we don't have to do later on in the year? Play at Buffalo.
But you know what? I was also thinking it's like I believe we're going to beat the Jets twice. I believe we're going to beat the Patriots twice. All it takes is one win from the Buffalo game. All it takes is one. Mm-hmm. All it takes is one. And Belichick has seemed to had Josh, what's his name? Allen's number a couple times. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, we can break even, but I can believe we can win the division at least 5-1.
Look, I don't think that you're wrong. I agree with you. All right, Concrete Slick, man, let me get out of here so I can rest up before I do the show this afternoon with the Smoke Show on his channel. So I appreciate you watching, man. Keep on supporting. It means a lot.
Gotcha, man. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I've enjoyed everything today. This has been a great show hanging out with y'all. Hope you all enjoyed it. I would love for you all to donate to the channel. I will tell you, if anybody donates to the channel right now, if I can get 10 people to donate to the channel, I don't care if it's $3. If 10 people donate to the channel right now, anytime afternoon, okay, I will double your donations, and I will enter you into it, even if it's $1. Okay, let's bring up those donations. I'd love to see $5 donations. Can I get 10 $5 donations? Come on, let's go. Would love to see it. Give us level 2 noob. I'll answer your last question today as my final thought of the day, and we'll see if anybody. Ryan AP. You know what? Let me answer. 2.1 mil for 1 year. Ryan AP. 2.1 mil for 1 year. All right. Give us your 4 hardest opponents right out of the gate. Bam, 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 bam. Put up or shut up. Give us our 4 hardest opponents. Well, I mean, who's our hardest opponents, right? Dolphins schedule for 2022. If we were to do that, right? Let's take that into account. We got to go with Buffalo is one of those games. The Packers, the Chargers, and the Bengals. Right? Steven, what's the donations numbers price-wise? $5 donation gets you into into the thing. But I will tell you, if anybody donates right now into the channel, I don't care if it's $1, I'll double your donations and I'll enter you even if it's $1. Okay? Double and enter even if it's on YouTube, if it's on Cash App or PayPal. We're just trying to raise money for the channel, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Vonjo says, come on, guys. Let's support the channel and help the channel grow. I like it. Thank you, Vonjo, for the $5 donation. Adam E says, my buddy is a season ticket holder from them in the email for the Monday night football game, week 2. In there, it says home opener will be announced Thursday night and tickets will go on sale, and they're playing home week 1. The Dolphins are playing home week 1. My buddy is a season ticket holder for them in the email for the Monday night football game week. So we got a Monday night football game week 2. Let me write that down. So the first 2 weeks are home. Monday Night Football, week 2. I told you I was writing predictions down. And home week 1. Okay. Season tickets. Let's go. Let's go. All right. And it's worded in a way that shows week 1 and 2 for them. No, Steven, it's for the Bills. For the Bills. All right, so this is for the Bills. So that means Miami and Buffalo week 1, right? That's what that means. I get you. He's talking about Buffalo. All right, so you're talking about Buffalo there. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. All right. All right. I love you guys. Y'all are the best fans in the world. This afternoon, I'm going to be on the Smoke Show. Here is the link to his channel. Okay. That's the link to his channel. Please go subscribe to his channel and turn on the alerts. I will be on with him at 2 p.m. today. 2 p.m. It's his very first show. So just support, share, build him up. We want to support all the new platforms here. Go watch Miami Fanatics show, Miami Sports Fanatics. Go watch the Fins Tailgate. Go watch Miss Fins. Everybody, TD, Dudley, Reason, all of them. Big O, all of them. I don't care if you love them, hate them, whatever. They're all amazing people, and they all do wonderful stuff each and every day. Okay? Spreading kindness in the world. I will be on Twitter tonight during the game, watching the Heat game. If you guys want to get with me to watch the Heat game on Twitter, I'll just be tweeting. You guys can get with me on there. Again, Von Joe, thank you for the $5 donation. No, can we get 4 more people to donate $5? Can we do that real quick? 4 more people? If I get a donation in the next 60 seconds, I'll stay up here for 5 more minutes, and I'll answer your questions for 5 more minutes. If I get somebody to donate another $5 in the next 60 seconds. Go. Go. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I am excited for tonight. Game 5 should be a lot of fun. Miami Heat. I mean, I'm nervous about chaos. There you go. There's your chaos, AA. Chaos. I love it. Shout out to TD. TD's the man. I'm interested to see who Heat going to lose. All right. I'll stay on for another 5 minutes. Get 3 more people to donate at least $5. Let's go, level 2 noob. I don't think they're going to lose tonight, man. I think it'll be tough without Kyle Lowry. But I will say this. If Philly does win, Philly wins the series. I think whoever wins tonight wins the series. Because it'll be very tough for Miami to win in Philly for some reason. Chef G said I donated on Cash App. Let's go, Chef. There we go. GG also sent $10. Says I'm gonna come on later. GG, if you don't get on, I'm not going live today, but Smoke Show is. But if you don't get on with them, come on tomorrow, man. I'll take care of you. I'll bring you on tomorrow, GG. Tomorrow's Wildin' Out Wednesday. That'll be a lot of fun. So there we go. We got what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more person donate. And the highest donation we had is $10 today. If anybody wants to beat the $10, $11 beats the highest donation today. Who wants to donate $11 and win the highest donation today? Let's go. Let's go. Donations are greatly appreciated. Thank you, guys. I really do. It's a big deal. Hey, says 10 toes. I love it. You guys can ask a question. I'll answer any questions you guys got here for the last 10 minutes. I'll answer any and all questions. The heat is done, Steve. The heat is done, Stephen D. Maybe next year. No way. No way. Come on, one more person gets us over the hump. $11 gets us the highest bid of the day. Or the highest donation. I said bid. Donation. Level 2 Noob said, which quarterback should we be looking at next year's draft? Not named Stroud or Young. Honestly, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of great quarterbacks, Level 2 Noob. What I will say is I will be paying attention very closely this year to the quarterbacks in college football. No doubt in my mind. Because we have the capital to do whatever we want. And, you know, it'd be stupid for me to not look at. I'll be looking, you know, look, I like SEC quarterbacks. I like anybody from the SEC. But just, you know, SEC doesn't necessarily guarantee great quarterback either, right? So, if it goes to that route, Level 2 Noob, and that's a big if, because my hope is that Tua balls out this year and Tua is our quarterback for the next 10 years. But if it does not go that way, I want to see a Joe Burrow type quarterback. I want to see a gunslinger, just straight gunslinger. Let's see here. Zizu asked, who do you think is more important to the Dolphins this year? Tyreek Hill or Tua? Tua has to succeed in order for this to all come to fruition. He has to. He has to. And I think that's what bothers a lot of you fans. It does. And I can admit it bothers me to a certain extent, right? It does. But to put your faith in Tua when Tua, that's what bothers some of you. But don't be surprised if he succeeds. And I'd like to say don't be surprised when he succeeds. Because he has succeeded on every level he's played on. He's been successful. He hasn't been successful here yet. But time will tell. And his time here yet's not over. He was successful in Pee Wee. He was successful in high school. He was successful in college. He'll be successful here. My hope is that he'll be successful here. All right, guys. One more donation of $11 gets us to the home stretch. Who's got it? Let's go. Anybody who donates $11 right now, that's 2 entries of $5, right? Plus double, that's 4. I'll triple it. I'll make it 6. If you donate $11 right now, you will get 6 entries. Just put 6 entries in the $11 donation. Whether you do it on Cash App, PayPal, or whatever. or on here. Just put 6X. All you got to do is put 6X, and that will let me know to make sure that it's 6 times. If you donate $11 right now, I'll give you 6 entries into Friday's giveaway, which will be a mini helmet, autographed mini helmet of the Dolphins. I don't know if it'll be a current Dolphins player or a former. I know it will not be Jerome Baker. So that's what I'm thinking. Steven, I meant to say, which one would you rather not get hurt? I mean, I hope neither of them get hurt. Neither. I don't want neither of them to get hurt. Zizou. Keep your eye on the kid from BC and Wake Buddy wants Van Dyke, but nothing good comes from Miami. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Nobody's going to donate that less than $11. Get triple the entries. Come on, guys. You can do it. That's 6 entries for $11. Come on now. That's big time. There we go. Sandy did. And Chef Zhu did. You know what? Since Sandy and Chef Zhu both donated on there, I will give you both 6 times the entries. Shout out to you guys for donating. Awesome. Awesome. Sandy and Chef. Guys are great. Tomorrow's Wildin' Out Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to do an open panel. It'll be big. Cap for Life will love it. It's going to be a big panel tomorrow. There'll be all sorts of craziness going in the chat. There'll be blood everywhere. Bloodshed everywhere. It'll be crazy. Crazy. Andre said, how much? $11. And Andres, if you donate $11 right now, I'll give you the 6 times the entries. I donated $20 last week, Stephen D. I put me in for the WWE tickets. Want to see RKO, bro. Dude, I ain't mad at you on that. RKO's the man, bro. Love me some wrestling. Wrestling. I ain't mad at you. Cap for Life, we're going to do a big panel tomorrow for you. Just for you, Cap for Life. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a big panel tomorrow. Just for you. Wildin' Out Wednesday. Mortal Kombat Wednesday. You guys can come up here and scream at each other and go crazy. Whatever you guys want to do. Mortal. Finish him. Fatal. Brutality. All that good stuff. That'll be fun. I love y'all. Y'all the best fans in the world. I will see y'all tomorrow on Wildin' Out Wednesday. If anybody donates through Cash App or PayPal, $11, I'll triple your entries for the rest of the day. 2 p.m., I'll be on the Smoke Show. Again, one more time, just for everybody that's here. This is the link to the Smoke Show in the thing, okay? Andre said, okay, I sent. All right. Andres just sent me $11. Let's go. All right. Hey. I ain't mad at y'all. Let's go. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Y'all the best fans in the world. Let's do it. I will see you all tomorrow for Wildin' Out Wednesday, Mortal Kombat Wednesday. We're going to have a good time tomorrow. All right. See y'all tomorrow. Check me out at 2 p.m. on the Smoke Show with my man, Nikki Smokes. See y'all. Love y'all. Peace.